we early? Good evening and welcome to Surface FM Stadium here in South Australia for tonight's State League 1 Grand Final between League Premiers West Torrens Birkalla and Playford City. Looks like we're ahead of schedule here tonight, Simon, so the original intro is out the window.
Well, that's all right. Let's play it by ear once we catch our breath, of course, because we've just done the dash up from the pitch to celebrate the end of the State League 2 Grand Final, which had plenty of drama in the last 10 minutes, so maybe we just want to keep the games rolling tonight and keep the excitement right at about 9 or 10.
We'll get into the information after the national anthem. Well, folks, the national anthem always only means one thing, and that is that kickoff is not far away as both teams go through the handshakes. I'm your commentator, Connie Committis, and I will be here for the next 90 minutes. Who knows, potentially longer. I also have a co-commentator, Simon Jimenez. Thank you for joining me, Simon.
Thank you very much. Very excited for this one tonight. Going to cap off a big weekend of games so far, the last grand final that we got for this weekend.
A lot of word on the street is that this game is potentially somewhat a den rubber, but after what we heard on Tuesday at the press conferences that were held here at Surface FM Stadium, and the way Birkalla were talking after they secured promotion, this is going to be far from just a rollover match, isn't it?
I don't buy it for 1 second, the fact that it's a dead rubber. I've never met a sports person that said, I don't want another trophy. It just doesn't happen. So pretty sure both teams are going to be going for it tonight. Cannot wait. Playford, they were runner-up in the lead for the premiership, second on the ladder, so they can't go away from this season without a bit of silverware to commemorate it. So I think both teams are going to be absolutely going for it tonight. As far as picks, it's been pretty split on opinion, so could really go either way.
Well, the one thing that comes to mind for me is that no game has gone past the 90 so far. So are we in for a long night of football?
I'd say we're due for it. Why not? It's a Saturday night. Neither of us are working tomorrow.
Let's have a little look at how these teams got here, Simon. Obviously, Birkalla finished top, gained promotion automatically by doing so. They pipped Playford in round 20. They beat them at home, which made Playford had to go the long way around and play an extra couple of matches to get here tonight. They secured their promotion last weekend by beating Adelaide Blue Eagles in what was a fairly entertaining match in the end. I don't know if anyone's heard the commentary from Alessio Carocci. I've never met a 20-year-old to nearly have a heart attack before, but that is almost what happened last weekend.
Yeah, plenty of drama in both of those games, and in both cases, split results in the end. Not clear cut, so that's the way we like to see it. Nice, tight competition, and hopefully that's going to continue tonight as well.
Yeah, so both of these teams with the week off in the first week of finals after finishing first and second. They then had to go through 2 legs to get here tonight. Birkalla winning away in the first leg 3-1, and then last weekend losing 2-1 but going through on aggregate, whilst for Playford City, they lost the first leg against Blue Eagles, and then last week 4-1 winners after extra time, cementing their spot in next year's NPL, and of course joining Birkalla in tonight's grand final, which is not too far away from kicking off. Referee Christian Verdicchio does just that, and we're away here at Service FM Stadium. Ball goes out wide from Isaac Mullen, one of those players who scored 2 goals last week, and it's Playford on the early attack. Tabarez brings it down for Penendez, another one of those players who scored a double last weekend, and boy, has he had a massive season after coming into the squad from round 5 after serving a 4-game suspension, which carried over from last year.
We've seen a few players from both sides come into teams late in the season having a really big impact. Soy Sarkani's one name that comes to mind. He was talk of the town towards the end of the season, 6 goals inside of the last 5 rounds. He hasn't scored since that last game in round 22, though, and we really wanted to see him going full clip that week. Maybe we'll see that tonight.
I managed to have a little chat with Zoe just before the game. I said, every time I spoke to you when you scored, you didn't score again, so I haven't mentioned it to him for a few weeks, so maybe tonight's the night we see another one of those pretty extraordinary goals from Zoe Sarkani since he's joined Birkalla. They've been absolute worldies. And an early free kick there for goalkeeper and captain Nick Harpers.
And of course, Birkalla have the omission this week as well. Adam D'Agostino copped a red card last week. Means he won't feature tonight. And the return of Charlie Devroe will be here in his place tonight.
Not a bad replacement if you ask me. There is Zoid Sarkani trying to look away 40-yard pass, which I know it's in his repertoire, but not that time. Lessie picks up the scraps now. Back to his goalkeeper.
On the topic of the Birkalla goalkeeper and captain, Nicholas Harpers, I was speaking to someone following that round 22 game, and he used Nick Harpers as a bit of an example of how goalkeepers should be to his sons. He was really impressed at just the communication and leadership that he had the whole way through, and I guess that's what you come to expect from a keeper with his experience and no stranger to big games like tonight as well.
Yeah, he's been a very good goalkeeper for a very long time, and obviously stepping into the captaincy role here at West Torrens Birkalla and leading him just fine this season. I think he's actually done more media in the last 3 or 4 weeks than he probably would have had done for a long time. I know that Shane Robinson, who is our boundary commentator tonight. Shane, welcome.
Thank you, boys. Very good to be here.
Shane, you had a chat with Nick Harpers after the game we called a few weeks ago, and Birkalla go forward with an early chance. Can be a terror. Goodness me. He's been in some form. Sorry to cut you off there, Shane. What's the feeling like down there? Has the coldness and the dew set in on that grass yet?
Yeah, it has. It's a really good feeling down here. Obviously, we had a massive grand final just before, so that ended in unusual scenes, but there's still a real good buzz down here at pitchside. I did think before I might want to maybe be up there in the nice warm commentary box, but you know what? It's a pretty good place to be down here pitchside on grand final night.
Well, I got good news for you. No rain expected tonight, and it's not meant to get any cooler than it is right now. So
I'm more than happy with that, boys. More than happy with that.
Christophilos swings that one in. As I mentioned, we were a little bit rushed for time at the start of this broadcast, and we didn't manage to go through the 2 lineups, but not much has really changed from what these 2 teams have put out in the park in the last month or so. The only real surprise for me was that Ethan Stevenson got the start tonight, and you've got likes of Costa Mandis on the bench, who's playing his 300th and final game as another ball was put into the box. Lessie's going to have a go from distance!
Oh. What a crack
Boy,
early.
did he collect that well.
Well, look, in both of the games that we've seen in terms of grand finals this weekend, we've seen teams get on the board really, really early. Looks like Birkalla wanting to start things off pretty early tonight as well.
That is one of the hardest ways to strike a football, and he's nearly put it in the top corner, just like Matt Canny did in the earlier game, as Tabarez wins himself a free kick. Tabarez, who's been at Playford since round 17, so he's only been here a short time, the man from Colombia. Scored 3 goals in his first reserves game that he played for Playford, and then he was in the senior team from then on, and he's managed to score 3 senior goals as well. So
just 1 loss since he's come in as well,
yeah.
Interestingly, and that was to Birkalla.
Not a bad record. Mind you, if they lose tonight, they might be asking questions of the Colombian, but I don't want to words in people's mouths.
Yeah, you don't want to put the commentator's curse in this early in the night.
That's a
Play
great
forward.
delivery in, and it's an early...
Oh!
Nick Harpers has done very well. He just got a fingertip to keep that one out the net. But the delivery from Dan Ryan was spot on. Ahmad was bailed out by Lessie there.
I'll be interested to see that save on a replay a little bit later, because just fingertips to it, it looked like it had beat him.
I know people were laughing at me for my eyesight just before, but I saw that one pretty well.
That was just the under 30 crowd, I think.
Bit of space now for Birkalla to go forward. It's Ahmad. Oh, when he tries to play Scambiatera through, but he wasn't on the same wavelength that time. Birkalla look for Tabros with the long ball. They find him, but he can't quite keep that one under his spell, and it goes out for a Birkalla throw in. Nick Harper's in the action early. They're more than happy to play the ball across goals and try and keep possession. West Torrens Birkalla. Morris, another who missed a significant amount of football this year with injury.
Now, do you reckon we'll have any Socceroos watching tonight? Because I know one that is a former Birkalla boy that's away on Socceroos duty at the moment.
Well, he's in Australia at the moment, so he might be. It's in his time zone. So that would be Joe Gauchi, who Johnny Kecko had a chat with during the week as well. So maybe he could be intrigued in what's happening here tonight.
Well, if the Socceroos are tuned in, big hello to you all. Hopefully we've got a cracker lined up. What a big year Gauchi's had so far as well, though. Signing in February for Aston Villa, going from Jack Smith Park to Villa Park.
Yeah, same, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Very similar. Tell you what, if it gets any colder, the weather will be very similar as well. But another free kick for Playford in a very dangerous position, and it's even probably a little bit more dangerous this time round. Saw what Dan Ryan did last time. Put it right in the mixer. Likes of Christos Penendez will be licking their lips if he can do that again. Ben Woolard also standing over the ball. But it's going to be the right-footed delivery. It's a far delivery. Oh, and he's looking for the far post that time. So a couple of really good deliveries from the number 10 for Playford.
Well, Nicholas Harpers looked like he had that covered again, but tested, I guess, just making sure he's on his toes nice and early.
Well, I guess the one about that one there is the first one went near post, and that one's gone far post, so he's probably gone, all right, I wonder if he's going to take a step to the near post, and I can, clip it into the back as Stevenson, with a nice switch of play that time, finds Scambiatera, who's been very, very dangerous for Birkalla in the past 4 or 5 weeks. He has a half cross become shot.
Well, he was the hat-trick hero in round 22 that night that we were there down at Jack Smith Park. Managed to get his hat-trick in the last round of the year and was the man that put him through to automatic promotion.
Yeah, I had a quick chat with Amina Yubi, the man who runs Birkalla down there, and the celebrations kept going that night, and I'm sure they will be looking to do the exact same with a win here tonight. And then back down to Jack Smith Park. As for Playford, well, we heard Tyson Harriman during the week say they would be more than happy with the title of league champions, meaning they would take the trophy down to the northern suburbs. Tabarez chasing this one down with Quichi.
He's got some speed. Not enough.
It's a great little matchup, that one there.
It'll be fascinating to watch tonight. On the topic of what you said, the championship, as I said a little bit before, I've never known a sports team to not want any additional silverware, and they're both here tonight. They put in all the preparations. All they have to do is put in a tough 90 minutes, so I don't think we're going to see any less game because of that.
Yeah, you can say what you want about dead rubbers, but as soon as footballers of this nature cross the white line, there is no such thing as a friendly or a dead rubber, that is for sure. Just feels looking for that switch, but Stevenson not interested in it. Tsakani shuts it down. The ball spills to Tsakani. What can he do? He's in the box. Looks for his teammate. Who's there? It's Devro. Devro on his right foot.
Oh.
William Playford will let off there. Charlie Devro, not his strong foot, his right foot, but did well to get the shot on target.
Yeah, just slightly off balance there. The initial ball towards Sarkani just didn't bounce right for him, and he wasn't in the right position. Otherwise, I think he would have had a nice crack with the ball in the air.
Lessie. Penendez, a little bit of a shove in the back. Oh, and a little bit of a cheeky little kick there from Christos Penendez.
You probably don't want to rattle Lessie's cage too much. 2 red cards this year. Did you know that stat?
No, I did not. That is news to me. I'm sure they will love if there is no more, Simon. So
actually, speaking of red cards in each senior game as well this weekend.
Dear me, you've just put the lockers on the game,
Oh,
Simon.
God, sorry.
Playford picked that one up. Flipped out wide to Ryan, who's in a wide position this time, but just that dew on the pitch, just skipping that ball up, and might just cross back down to our sideline reporter, Shane Robinson. And it does look like in the last 5 or so minutes that ball condition on the pitch has gotten a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, it certainly has. It's I don't know if you boys can see it from up there in the commentary box, but there's certainly a fair bit of dew that's sort of come in along the grass. You can see it from this angle. It's really glistening. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see which team sort of adapts to that first, and you know, just the speed of the ball travelling along the ground. We haven't really seen it today in the other grand final, obviously being a daytime grand final. So, yeah, interesting to see who adapts to this first and sort of who gets the ball under control.
Might be interested, Shane, if you can get some inside information if the Birkalla, you know, the coaching staff had a chat about playing on the grass pitch tonight, considering they play and train on the artificial most of the time of the year. So see if you can find out if they've had a bit of a chat about that as Playford go forward. Offside flag is up. So well, that's your job for the next couple of minutes, mate.
It's being put to work.
Just having a chat down here to Kostas Zacharopoulos, the Birkalla goalkeeper coach. Only trained on the artificial at Jack Smith Park this week, so no grass training. But look, it's one of those things where, you know, they're playing on grass, you know, every second or you know, 4th week when they play away anyway. So I don't think it'll be too much of an issue for them.
It won't be an issue until they lose or something goes wrong, and then they go, oh, the grass pitch.
Well, it's always nice to have something to blame it on a little bit later, but to Shane's point there, plenty of time playing on artificial turf for both teams, given the fact that they are in State League 1.
Going on the far side. It's flicked on by Butler. Now Playford in numbers. Just if you notice with a little bit of the close-up shots, both teams wearing black armbands tonight. Playford City player had a family member pass away during the week, and of course West Torrens Birkalla wearing the black armbands for a past coach in George Katsineris, who sadly passed away last week. He was a coach there from 2021-22 with Jason Trimboli. So our thoughts are with everyone involved as another ball is clipped into the box. Cut out by Playford City. Tyson Harriman. Now it's Isaac Mullen trying to work his magic. Oh, he nearly loses the ball there. Isaac Mullen, obviously the cousin of Daniel and Alex Mullen, who won for Campbelltown City last night. So if history repeats itself, we'll have a possible third Mullen to win in the space of 24 hours.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a chat about the Mullen family tree a little bit earlier today. There's plenty of players with that surname, and you know, it'd be interesting if we did a tally of total game involvements between all of them, you know, at every level, from Socceroos to A-League to local level, including coaching. It'd have to be in the thousands, I think.
Oh, well and truly. In the thousands. We almost pushed the twos, I reckon.
Yeah.
Obviously a great footballing family is the Mullen family. Here is Isaac Mullen. Looking for some options to come towards him, but has to backtrack somewhat and go sideways. Now Butler looking for Tavares over the top. Morris is there. He lets it go all the way through to his goalkeeper, Nicholas Harpers. So no real threats on goal that have had much meaningful sense yet, Simon. So a little bit of a slow start, you could say, in the first 15 minutes.
Slow start, but I think it points to the teams being so well matched today. I don't think they're going to want to open things up too much because you feel that both of these teams can really get things going on the counter-attack. Having said that, I guess that early opportunity that just found the fingertips of Nicholas Harpus, that was there. There's another one that was just beaten by the post in the end, but nothing so clear-cut as of yet.
Ball there to Quichi. Was a bit behind him and he had to just stick a foot out. Now it's Playford back in possession. That ball's not going to work for Andrew Butler, and nor is that from Isaac Mullen. So a little bit of scrappiness in between the lines here for both teams. Interesting though, Simon, is that these two teams have played each other 5 times in the past 2 years. So earlier this year, obviously Birkalla, 2-1 win at Jack Smith Park. Earlier in the year, Playford beat them 2-1 at Ramsey Park. But last year, they played in an elimination final, and that was Birkalla 4, Playford 2. So definitely goals when these teams play. In the previous meeting before that was a 2-2 draw and a 1-0 win to Playford. So it's very evenly matched between the two sides when they play each other.
Well, we heard from Tyson Harriman during the week, and he said he wasn't too concerned with past results given the fact that they hadn't managed to beat Blue Eagles this year. And that definitely was the case last week.
Tabarez tries to get his cross in. It's blocked by Morris. It's going to be a corner. The interesting fact that I had a look at was that the Playford victory back in round 11 2023 was one Adam D'Agostino, who was the suspended player for Birkalla tonight. He was the match winner that day for Playford. So switching alliances, doesn't get to play tonight due to suspension, and obviously picked up an injury a few weeks ago as well. So a little bit of an unlucky end to his season, but I'm sure he'll be more than happy if the boys get the job done for him tonight.
Well, I think in finals the likelihood of red cards is just that fraction higher given the way emotions are, as we saw in the other 2 senior grand finals already this weekend.
So this is going to be swung in from the left. Near post delivery. Sakani's there to header away. A couple of players go to ground. It's picked up though by Andrew Butler. Back in a wide area. Flipped in. Touch there. Harpus is there to clean up. The flag goes up in any case, so it wouldn't have been... Oh, Harpus has completely miscued that and ended up nearly at the halfway line himself.
Well, I think that might point to the condition of the pitch and that it may be a little bit even slipperier than we originally thought.
And there goes the little bit of a condition that we had before with the slippery turf that Shane mentioned down at the sideline. It's going to be... Here's a ball in Skimby-Terror. He's misheaded that, but yeah, the weather conditions are going to play a part, I think, in this one, because if you don't... not used to playing on the grass pitch week in, week out, it makes it a little bit tough, because when you play on the artificial, the ball just bounces and doesn't skid on as much. But that time there, Harper seemed like he wasn't too happy with his gloves as he touched the ground for a little bit more moisture and tried to get him a little bit more grip. So next time round, I reckon it'll be a lot better. Playford in no rush to take this goal kick either. Goalkeeper Luke Osby in goal.
We saw Scambier-Terry get the final header before that last little attack before. He was the hero on round 22, managed to get his hat-trick. And he was really good off those scrappy sort of balls. Just found himself in the right position on multiple occasions that week to just be the one to connect and put it in the back of the net.
Quichi just gives up possession there. Butler. Oh, Quichi goes to ground. They're a man short here. Oh, and they're very lucky. Almost committed the cardinal sin there, Quichi. As a central defender, when you go to ground, you leave your team short at the back, and Playford unable to play through. I'm sure if it had have ended up in a severe chance, there would have been some words for him to maybe stay on his feet next time round. Ahmad loses possession. Now it's Mullen again. Pulling the strings in midfield, Isaac Mullen. Here he is again. It was a great run through the middle by Sam Voigt, but no one saw him. He was unmarked. On the far side now, French. Voigt still keep possession. Playford, it's a ball in the box now. Penendez is there. Picked up by Lessie. Now it's Sakani releasing Stevenson. Can he get there first? He can't. Harriman gets there with the header. And then it goes all the way back. A little bit scrappy from Playford there. Ends up with Harriman again. Sakani putting the pressure on. Lessie wins the header. Penendez wins that header for Tabarez, but the flag goes up on the far side from our official Jaden Betterman on the far side. Just looks like we're going to see possibly an early chatting to by Christian Vidicchio, so he keeps the card in the pocket. Very lucky. Tabra has hoofed the ball over the fence, and it's gone. Well, I can't see it, so it's gone far enough away that it was kicked hard enough.
Just been watching, especially during that moment there with Quichi in the back before, it looked like a couple of the Birkalla players were on ice skates there, and even when they're tracking forward, it looks like they're just running a little bit carefully. So, again, talking once more about those potentially slippery conditions out there, it'll be interesting to see how that continues to develop.
Oh, and Playford just nipped in there, and I think Birkalla maybe not expecting as much pressure in that situation as what was there, and they gave the ball up. Sakani just telling him just to play forward and play his feet so he can hold the ball up. Now it's Playford with possession, and you can see Birkalla have changed a little bit of their tactic now. They're stepping up a lot higher, and they turn over here. It's Lessie finds Sakani in space. Will he have a go from distance? Skips one way, the other. Penendez does well to track back and get a little foot in to stop Sakani from having to go on goal. Oh, and Quichi, a couple of misplaced passes there. That was nowhere near anybody.
Well, it looks like they're
trying close to the ball boy, that's for sure.
Well, it looks like Birkalla are just dialing up the pressure a little bit, as you said, and maybe Quichi just a little bit overzealous with trying to deliver that one forward. Possibly didn't have the timing or the composure to get that delivery right.
Here is Lessie again under pressure from Voigt. Now it's Voigt on the ball. Goes to ground and gives up possession. So both teams still struggling to just get used to the conditions. We see substitutions head down for their little warm-up as the ball gets put through by Sakani. Goodness me, the class was nearly on show there again with the outside of the foot. Scambiateri is very good at making those little runs in behind, isn't he? We've seen that in the last few weeks.
That looked like it was centimetres away from finding his foot, and it would have been on if Scambiateri found himself on the end of that.
I genuinely think that comment you made is spot on, because it would have been stud width away, which is a centimetre. Here's Butler, cuts in. He's had a couple of siders from this sort of area. That one not his best shot, though. Very dangerous letting Butler cut in after what he's been able to produce early on there. His couple of free kicks have been on the spot, but that one there, he let him off the hook.
Harper's been pretty active in goals, 22 minutes in. And so far, looking like Playford's making Birkalla work pretty hard, but here comes Sakani on the attack.
Sakani finds Christophilos with that weapon of a left foot he's got. Finds Scambiatera. Goes back to Christophilos, clips one in. The keeper comes, just gets enough on it. Devro might have a go. A little bit of a scrappy trying to clear the ball there, Playford. Ahmad finds Scambiatera, skips past one. He's in, has a go. He skips through one. Ethan Stevenson, did it go over the line? It's a goal! Christian Vidicchio points to the middle of the pitch. Ethan Stevenson scuffed his shot, but it was enough to cross the line. Referee Thomas Temby on the near side signalled to his main referee Vidicchio that it was over the line, and Simon, it's 1-0.
Didn't know how to react there. Wasn't sure if it had gone in or not, but it did. That attack that we saw moments before that was very much like we saw from Birkalla a couple of weeks ago during round 22. Just gathering those loose balls and putting the opposition under a lot of pressure as they're attacking. That's exactly what happened there. We find the back of the net 22 minutes in for Birkalla.
Yeah, we just saw on the replay there, I reckon there's not much complaint from the Playford players out there. He was well and truly behind the line from up here, and from the shot it doesn't look overly clear, but it was clear enough that it's been signalled as a goal. So,
well, the centimetres that Scambiatera didn't have in his favour earlier, they've just found then, so I'm sure they'll take that goal.
So after 24 minutes here at Service FM Stadium, the league premieres and the newly promoted West Torrens Birkalla go 1-0 up in the grand final.
Well, until that little moment where Birkalla sort of started dialing up that pressure there, it looks like Playford had him working pretty hard, but Birkalla just lifting the work rate a little bit and putting him under some additional pressure there. It looks like it's paid off pretty quickly.
Tabarez trying this spectacular when the ball was a very long way away. Thankfully, there was no players nearby, and here is Stevenson. He's got some leg speed to get away from his marker in Butler. Might use Sakani there, or he might just try and go himself, or he's tried to overdo it there a little bit, Stevenson. And now it's Tabarez in a foot race with Quichi again. Quichi can't deal with it. He's fortunate enough that Harpers gets there first, and Tabarez leaves one in. He's threading a very fine line, having already been spoken to by Vadika for kicking the ball away, and he might have even hurt himself there. So, not sure he purposely tried to leave one in, or he's just gone over the ball, but yeah, he sort of wasn't quite the Ryan Veach drop of the shoulder, but it was nearly the same sort of scenario.
Real composure by Harpers there to get a foot to the ball, backed himself in as he ran in, found it. Managed to defend that attack really, really well.
That's a bit better by Quichi. Zakani brings it down like the ball's on a string, but then loses it. Morris will have to deal with that one. He's got Tabarez who's floating around, putting the pressure on. Tabarez again gets there, and now it's Sakani. Oh,
what a flick.
Zoid Sakani.
What a ball.
But then the ball didn't match.
Oh.
They might pick it up again, though.
Looked from this angle like Scammy Terra was going to find himself on the end of it. Not the case. Very clever flick, though, from Sakani. Pretty much right in front of us. It was nice to see that one up close.
Zoid Sakani showing us the skills that's obviously on show for him, having played in Athens, New York, in Albania, and here in Adelaide. Played at Adelaide Olympic for a few games this season, but boy, his form really turned the corner when he went to West Torrens Birkalla. That stat when he came over was 6 goals and 4 assists in 4 games. It was just ridiculous the way he entered the fray here at Birkalla as they give the ball away. Tabarez tries to slip one through. Morris does well to defend that one there. And that cross isn't very good, so let off the hook again, Birkalla.
Yeah, a little bit of a spill there.
They're not over. Oh, as Tabarez goes down, he may be struggling from that little incident earlier on with the goalkeeper Harper, so I'm sure this won't please the coach Ben Moore if there's an injury that come out of something that could have been avoided not long ago.
Harpers is a bit of a unit of a man. I'm not sure he's the sort of bloke you usually want to run into full clip. He's
that's what I say when I see you. Don't upset Simon. But you're right, he's a big unit, Nick Harpers.
You see those lanky goalkeepers, and then you see guys like him, who he's a pretty solid unit. Magic spray.
Stav Galekis, the coach of West Torrens Birkalla, just taking a moment to have a little chat with a couple of players down beneath here. Shane, is there any word down there if Tabarez's injury is quite serious? Is there any subs warming up?
I haven't heard, boys. I was just on my way down walking towards the Playford bench. I haven't heard anything too bad of how it is, but I think there's just a bit of confusion here in the Playford defence. They're just trying to get some instructions here from Coach Ben Moore. I think there's a bit of confusion as to who's meant to be going where at certain times. So I'll try and find out for you how bad that injury is.
Thank you, Shane, down there on the boundary, as you can see Tabarez making his way back around to enter from the side of the field. The referees don't allow players to re-enter back from the byline. They like them to come around and have a little chat with the official, which he's just done with Jaden Betterman over there, and now he's back on and gets the ball. So a little bit of I reckon he put that one up his sleeve and thought, I'm just going to sneak the ball here. It's Voigt now. Gets the cross in. Tabarez is waiting. Looks like he's okay. Number 7, Andrew Butler. Yeah, as we've mentioned earlier on, we've seen a couple of players retire from last night's game in Daniel Mullen and Jake Halliday. We've also got one here tonight. The man on the bench is Costa Mantis. His 300th game, if he comes on, or hopefully he comes on the park, will be his 300th and final game. And I'm sure, like the boys last night, there's no better way to go out as a winner. Sakani holds off. Butler does very well, but couldn't quite thread the ball past Ben Woolard.
On the topic of Mantis, he only came on the 71st minute last week, so Stav Galekis maybe wanting to keep him up his sleeve in tonight's game as well, have him as a bit of an impact player late in the game.
Yeah, I managed to have a little bit of a chat with him earlier on, and he was actually overseas in Greece on a holiday for the last couple of weeks, and he was more than happy to come back via the bench last week and tonight, being such a big game, and that's just the professional he is. He's won championships with West Adelaide, played at clubs like Blue Eagles, Campbelltown, Olympic, also spent some time at Western Strikers, and finishes his career tonight with West Torrens Birkalla.
Well, after 300 games, your legs probably take a little bit longer to recover from holiday, so can't blame him for wanting to come late in the game and do the rockstar shift.
Sakani with another nice little ball. He gets put in. Playford deal with it just enough, but not the bounce. Devereaux, Sakani gives it away that time.
Birkalla are just so dangerous launching those balls in from either wing. You've got Stevenson on one side, Scambiateri on the other. Launch it in, follow it up with a run, and just make themselves really, really awkward to defend.
We did see that in that round 22 game, didn't we, where they just clipped some balls into the box, weren't necessarily looking for targets. They just get them in dangerous areas, just enough weight on the ball so it causes trouble, but also not enough weight on it so it goes out of play, and it just causes so much havoc in the box because it falls to players like this man, Austin Scambiateri, who just jog on the spot, and like all poachers do, they finish with ease. Glushkov now. Koichi can't find Sakani. So Koichi's passing out of defence has not been his greatest so far. He's looking to break that line with a pass, but can't find the target. So if he can get that right and they can get that ball into Sakani in positions like that, they're going to keep causing a lot of trouble for Playford.
Another head to it. I've got a bit of a theory. Whenever you got the Koichi hairstyle, it maybe looks like your work rate's a little bit increased. Would you agree with that?
Well,
I'm thinking the Mo Salahs of the world.
The Mo Salah, yeah, look, I'm a Man United fan, so let's not talk about Mo Salah. But some unfortunate news here, and Christos Penendez is signalling to the bench that Santiago Tabarez of Colombia will need to be substituted here, and Ben Moore looks to be going to his bench, so we'll cross down to you, Shane. Who is coming on for Playford?
Can't quite see who's coming on as yet, boys. It was just, I spoke with the trainer just as he came back past me before. He did say it was just a corky, and they were sort of going to see how he went in the next few minutes. But as we've seen, those next few minutes, he obviously hasn't got any better at all, which is really unfortunate for him. A very, very key player for Playford. But it will be, who is it coming on for Playford? Number 11. And I don't have my book in front of me, so I can't tell you who it is.
That's all right. We're frantically scrambling to get the name right here.
His Tabarez doesn't look in a very good way at all, so...
Jackson Kurtz making his way onto the field.
Yeah, it is Kurtz, yep.
Well, same spelling as the old Marco Kurtz, the old Adelaide United boss. Let's not mention that name again. So he does look in a very, very significant amount of discomfort, Tabarez. And it's a huge loss because last weekend Tabarez come off the bench at half-time, didn't he? And he caused a lot of trouble, and he won the last penalty for Playford, which ultimately sent him to the big dance here today. So I have to just refresh my memory. I couldn't remember if he come off or on it last week, but caused a lot of trouble, and that's a huge loss because you see early on he's trying to pounce on that mistake that the defender's going to make, or if it goes past, he's trying to back himself in with some speed. But it looks like he's not done himself any favours with that collision early on with Nick Harpers in goal. So that is a big loss for Playford City early on. 15 minutes still to go until half-time.
Yeah, he would have been their main target up front there. Since he's come into the squad in round 17, scored 6 goals, and a pretty good winning record for Playford in that time, aside from the last time that they met Birkalla. So, nonetheless, taken out of the game just 33 minutes in. So, Playford go to plan B.
Throw in on the far side, Christophilos. Now it falls here. Penendez. Might look to get Penendez into the game a little bit more and get him in the box and get him some chances with the experience that Christos Penendez has. He's been there and done it all, has Christos Penendez. He's was captain of Adelaide Olympic previously before coming here, and he won 2 Federation Cups as captain, played in the Australia Cup competition and the old FFA Cup. So definitely a lot of experience there with Christos Penendez, who they'll be looking to now to really stamp his authority, especially in the front third.
Yeah, or if they're looking for someone else to take goals, he's your man. 16 goals so far this year in all competitions, scored 2 last week, so very capable, but a little bit of a shuffle around for the Playford manager, no doubt.
As we mentioned earlier on, Christos Penendez missed round 1, 2, 3 and 4, came into the squad in round 5. Didn't play any pre-season games either after serving that pretty lengthy suspension from last season, and he's done a pretty good job, especially fitting into a new team and scoring so many goals. It's not easy.
Well, that's where the experience definitely helps, and you can tell he's a real presence up forward for Playford City. Given the fact, as you said, he was previously a captain himself, he's, I'm sure, able to manage his spot within the team as far as personalities and whatnot.
Scambiatera finds Sakani in some space. Tries the first time ball for Ahmed, who was making a forward run. Now it's back with Devro. Scambiatera gets it out wide to Christophilos. Can he get a cross in with his left foot? Finds Scambiatera. Oh, a little nutmeg there. Another one. Oh, that was great work by Scambiatera.
Very Scambiatera-esque.
He just does a little shimmy. I don't know how he does it, but he does it very well. And
he's just a rascal, and he loves to do it in that exact spot, just on the left-hand side, edge of the 18-yard box.
Opens his body up, slips it in. It's like reading a book, so if you know what's going on, you should know what's happening. But week in, week out, you see him do the same thing and get away with it.
I think even though you know what he's about to do, you can't do anything about it, which makes it challenging for Playford's defence, and will continue to do so tonight. 36 minutes in.
West Torrens Birkalla in possession again. Quichi, that time just a little touch pass for Lessie, who played with a bit of danger. They're going back across goal and across 2 Playford players, but got away with it. Devro. Scambiatera, again, trying to get away from his marker. Gives the ball away, though, so Playford go forward. It's Penendez. He's got a couple of players forward with some space, but Lessie gets a foot in and does well. Ahmad brings that down very well as well. Can he get his shot on goal or have a chance? Gets a free kick, so Melad Ahmed was, well, up until the last few weeks, he was the leading goal scorer for Birkalla until Austin Scambiatera decided he was going to bag in a couple of hat-tricks and then continue that form into the final series. And this is quite a dangerous area when you've got the likes of Thanasi Lessie and Zoid Sakani. I think it's a bit too far out for a Sakani special, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, there's 2 players both in position there. Maybe Sakani will take a little bit of a run and maybe try to get the second touch on it.
Plenty of space on that far side where Christian Vidicchio is standing as well. He could act as a shield almost if he slipped Christophilos in, which he's going to do now. Sakani's going to have a go. Oh, and the keeper spills it. I'll tell you what, I wasn't expecting it, but I wasn't surprised, and I think the goalkeeper was a little bit the same there. He didn't quite hold it. And no one followed it up for Birkalla, so a little bit of a chance gone begging there.
Well, didn't really challenge Ostby in terms of positioning, but yeah, you're right, he wasn't quite ready to catch it either. But then again, it could be slippery gloves as well, given the conditions. We saw that a little bit earlier at the other end.
A bit of a link-up play, a late challenge there. Yeah, it is a very, well, it wasn't very, very late, but it was late enough to put the player off, and Vidicchio has gone over to have a chat with the player on that far side. I couldn't quite catch who it was. It looked like it was Stevenson, I think, on that far side. No, it wasn't. It was Colin Morris. So, found himself in a little bit of an unorthodox position for Colin Morris. Normally, he's a central defender, so to be out that wide, definitely a defender's challenge, as they say. Tough and physical, and wasn't any malice in it, but he caught the player late. There's going to be a free kick now, going to be clipped in on the far side. very dangerous position for Playford. Can they get back on level terms? 5 minutes before half-time. It's going to be an in-swinger. A couple of players go to ground. The referee says, hold on a minute. Vidicchio just having a little chat with NPLSA there.
Looks like they're going to return and have another crack,
Yeah,
which Playford would probably not mind that option. I think it wasn't the best taking free kick.
I understand they're going to retake it again, but I think the frustration for the Birkalla bench down here is that they're saying, why didn't he blow the whistle beforehand? Because they actually went to ground. Anyways, take 2. It's clipped in. Near post. Oh. Clearing header again by Sakani.
Much better taking
clipped in
kick
again.
that time.
Penendez is there. The flag goes up, but you almost expect Penendez to at least hit the target from there, considering it was offside.
Well, we saw a nice 180 pivot. He took some physicality to turn the leg over and get a foot to that.
Yeah, the chest of Tyson Harriman set it up nicely, but
actually, I'm not sure if that went off Penendez's leg there.
Sakani wins another header in there. He's been very good this first half, has Zoid Sakani, not only in the air, but trying to play through the Playford midfield and defence. Skimbiatera, Sakani, and Harriman all come together, and in the end it's a Playford throw in. Ball goes forward. Penendez just throwing his big frame around there. Played forward, but not enough on it to get through to Voigt. Christophilos deals with it, but it's kept in by Playford. Christophilos has to defend now. It's clipped into the box. Koichi gets the header away. Christophilos will look to clear that one and finds a teammate in Stevenson. Devereaux. Stevenson in some space now to run. As we mentioned, he's also got some leg speed to get away from his opponent. Sakani with another nice little flick. Boy, he's been good this first half. Ahmad. Oh, just didn't come off. That would have been some goal if they had worked a chance there.
Yeah, I was watching him track forward there. I saw Scambiatera on the opposite of his usual side there, just making his way ahead, and it looked like it could have been on there, especially if that flick found its target. But Playford been a little bit dangerous in the last 5 minutes or so. A couple opportunities going forward, so Birkalla will want to be on their toes as we head towards half-time. We're not too far away, 42 minutes played.
Ahmad finds Lessie. Lessie gets the ball out wide to Glushkov. Looks to beat his defender 1v1. Gets some help here from Scambiatera, but in the end decides not to use him. Goes all the way back now to Koichi, who, as we mentioned, hasn't been very good by foot, and that time there lacked a bit of communication with his teammate Lessie. Colin Morris now with the ball.
Yeah, not the best touch from Koichi there. Could have put him in a bit of a dangerous position.
Devereaux in space. Stevenson.
Oh,
just slips over the wet surface there. Nothing in that from anyone.
Yeah, just unlucky there to get a bit of a slippery patch.
Harper's is going to have to deal with this one by foot. I don't think he can pick it up. Oh, he nearly kicks it into the Playford attacker that was running at him.
Not a bad kick under pressure there.
Found a teammate. Now it's Playford coming back through, and again the ball's just given away cheaply. Sakani with another nice little touch. And now he just clips that one forward for Ahmed. I'm going to sound like a broken record if he keeps playing this well. Oh, and he's checked there by Penendez. And Penendez jumps into a challenge. I really like it.
That was a really strange one to see.
Yeah, look, Christian Vidicchio is saying exactly what I was thinking. The whistle had gone. I know it was split second stuff, but Penendez jumped in there. He had given the foul away and then still decided to jump in with the additional challenge.
Sakani, though, kind of looked like he ran into a brick wall there, which,
well,
you know, he basically did.
Look, Sakani's not small. He's a decent-sized unit himself, so just met his match, I guess.
Just had word down here, boys. There'll be 3 minutes of stoppage time this half.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. So 3 minutes additionals, probably for those Tabarez little stoppages in play. Obviously, fourth official Regis Quefalik will put that sign up shortly. It's West Torrens Birkalla though on the attack again. Stevenson can't follow up his first touch. Gets away from him. Devereaux presses. Playford get out of there. Now it's going to be Mullen in some space to try and play a ball forward, and he does just that. Glushkov deals with it. Well, half deals with it. Fernandez picks it up. And there is that confirmation of the 3 minutes to be played additionally here in the first half. That one's clipped across by Butler. Playford will look to create some kind of decent chance here to get a goal before half-time.
Well, although we see the two teams separated on the scoreboard at this point, it's sort of hard to separate them in terms of who's been the more dominant so far.
Oh, and just trying his luck from distance, and unfortunately not troubling anybody but the seven-a-side pitchers at the back was Ben Woolard. So we approach half-time here, probably a minute and a half to go of those additional 3 minutes. West Torrens Birkalla holding that 1-0 lead thanks to an Ethan Stevenson scuff shot that found its way just over the line, enough for the referee and his official to signal a goal. Fernandez will pick this up. Playford with maybe one last wave forward. It's on the substitution now. The young fella that come on. Now it's Mullen. Completely had a brain fade. It's Kurtz. Can't beat Stevenson. Maybe Stevenson will get the ball and travel. No, he won't. He'll win it back. No, they won't. Making me look like a fool up here, Simon.
Well, it's been pretty frantic. The ball turned over a fair bit, so yeah, it's not the sort of game where it's just possession and trying to control things. It's just back and forth, which makes some exciting watching, and it means it's going to be anyone's game as we come out of half-time here tonight.
Now, Birkalla more than happy to make you look silly, mate, and just have a bit of possession to get us through to half-time.
Yep, why not?
Koichi goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Harpers. Christian Verdicchio, all eyes on him to end this first half. Not just yet, though. Scambiatera is going to bring this one down. Solid challenge there, and another one. Oh, I thought another one was coming. Oh, they tackled each other in the end, Koichi and Lessie. Koichi with another ordinary touch. Sakani. That's probably the player they want on the ball. Sakani when the moments are getting tough. Harpers goes long. Will there be one more chance before the half ends? Glushkov, Scambiatera goes forward. Get the sense that if this comes to nothing, that may be the end of the first half. Glushkov can't get that ball forward, and that's exactly what happens, because Christian Verdicchio puts whistle to mouth and blows the whistle for half-time. And it's West Torrens Birkalla 1, Playford City 0. What did you make of that first half, mate?
Well, I think Playford were making Birkalla work pretty hard on occasions there. Just lacking that finishing quality towards the end. Birkalla, on the other hand, just not finding it that easy to move the ball through the middle. So I think that'll be the big aim in the second half.
Down to you, Shane. Who have you got?
Yeah, down here with Dan Ryan, boys. You guys started really well, Dan, so that first 15-20 minutes couldn't get the key goal. What do you see that you guys need to do in the next half to improve?
A little bit unlucky, to be fair, in the first.
Welcome to 5AA Football Fives. No skills, no worries, no time to train, no need. Perfect for friends, family and kids. It's fast, fun football for everyone. So spend your summer nights under lights and register now at football5ssa.com. Proudly powered by 5AA, Always Adelaide.
It's never too late to improve your strength, balance, well-being and independence. Our Strength for Life program encourages all older South Australians to start moving and enjoy an active lifestyle, make friends, build strength and inevitably age well. Strength for Life sessions are offered in almost 100 locations across South Australia, with new sites opening all the time. Check out the COTA SA website to find your nearest location.
Strength for Life is an individualised program which is delivered in a group setting. We aim to keep older South Australians connected with their community, preventing social isolation and also keeping their bodies strong, flexible, managing falls and keeping them engaged. We're super excited to be partnering with Football SA at this state-of-the-art location. It's a beautiful venue. It will really benefit the local community through the Northfield and Jepps Cross surrounding areas to be able to access Strength for Life. And together we are working to improve everyone's futures.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the field of play, Adelaide City and Adelaide Comets. Our lineups for today for Adelaide Comets: number 1, Daniel Vaughan; number 4, Nathan Dimu; number 5, Adam Lacornu; number 7, Aladdin Irabona.
Very excited to be a part of the action. Longer commentator from Comets. Take a look at the starting lineups.
Ending the night with celebrations, and that's what they hope to do tonight as well.
As Curtis Wordsworth kicks things off here, it's Adelaide City with the kickoff and in possession of the ball. That would be an almighty comeback if they were to score 4 goals. But here's Comets. It's Irabona. He clips one into the back post. Oh, he's just missed the header there. I think it was
On the recipient at the end of it there, and a half chance resulted. But here's another one for Comets.
another early chance. Ooh, flicked across by Steed.
Daniel Vaughan, the keeper and captain.
Oh, it's falling here. It's Steed. He's in the box. It's 1-0 to Adelaide Comets. Just a nothing ball that was played across. Jaden Labasso tucked inside, played it forward. I think it took a deflection. And Adelaide Comets are awarded for their very, very, you could say, it was a long ball in the direction of Latanzio, but now it falls for Liai. Can they equalise? They do! What a start we've got here at Adelaide City Park. Bang, bang. 2 goals in 45 seconds of play.
Liai with an absolute cracker.
Like I think he wanted someone else to do it a few seconds earlier. That's a great run by Irabona. Is he onside? Referee keeps his flag down, goes across the keeper. And Oxenham is going to clip this one in to the back post. He's got players there. It flicked on, and that's a great save by Vaughan. It took 2 touches, and in the end, the flag goes up 4 offside. So cuts in, gets back onto his right, finds. No, he doesn't. He has a go on his left. He's clipped it in, and he's. In the end, it's ended up being a half shot, half chip. Sorry, the corner you can't clear. Liai's there. Can he find Latanzio? No, he can't. It's still in the box. Liai's there. Latanzio! Liai! Oh, and in the end, it's all the junior match officials who are under the age of 18 will be wearing an orange armband as Latanzio's in on goal. And it's 2-1 to Adelaide City. Speaking of,
Looking a little bit different attack-wise. Ooh.
Basso overlapping on the far side, gets his cross in, it's deflected. Garrido's there, and Oxenham had to make the save. Shapes up Dimu, cuts inside, might have a go here. He does. It's low. And had to be saved by Vaughan. So
I think we weren't quite sure for it.
Goes back out to Zacharakis. He clips one into the back post. Irabona's there. but Irabona just couldn't quite time the header, but in the end it was a free header. Goes into the middle, there's a header there, skipped in, it bounces, and in the end it falls into the hands of Dakota Oxenham. Goes into the middle, there's a header there, skipped in, it bounces, and in the end it falls into the hands of Dakota Oxenham.
Looking like pretty nice weather and for a night game, but
here's a chance. Oh, and it's flashed across the goal, and you've almost would have put your house on it. Jaden Labasso it was with the shot. Gutierrez picks it up. The whistle's in Curtis Wordsworth's mouth, and there it is. The final whistle goes here at Adelaide City Park. Adelaide City had to come from behind after conceding an early goal, but they get the job done here, Simon. 2-1 winners, progressing through to week 2.
Welcome to 5AA Football 5s. No skills, no worries, no time to train, no need. Perfect for friends, family and kids. It's fast, fun football for everyone. So spend your summer nights under lights and register now at football5SA.com. Proudly powered by 5AA, Always Adelaide.
The Matildas are on fire. And the Socceroos have the breakthrough.
And welcome to round 18 of the Go Sunny Solar WNPL here in South Australia, the final round for the regular season. And here at Adelaide City Park, the Adelaide Uni and Sturt both confirmed as those two sides to be in those relegation positions, but this one for a final spot, 11-1. They won't want that to repeat today as the ball continues on with Sasha Williams as she puts the ball into the box. Is caught well by Abby Lucas. Corner swings inwards. The ball comes in, and then again, an early goal. Adelaide City going 1-0 up. Manages to get past a few actually. Applin puts the ball in. Another decent opportunity for Birkalla. Just has to run down that right wing herself. Has the strength to do so. She puts the ball into the middle. Might fall. Atkins plays it through to King. Might be a good opportunity for Pete. Just wide off the post. Ball put into the middle. I think they'll be offside though. It's rolling in. She's onside. Be the one to deliver it in. Won't be Macaulay, will be Guiardo. Over the bar. Well, it wasn't a bad opportunity either for them. The goal early. And then Birkalla getting a goal in late in the first half. Looking for the chip over was Dylan Holmes. Not too threatening to Abby Lucas. Garlic makes her way through. Gets the ball into the box. Holmes couldn't get the finish to try and put City in front. Guiardo, the bar. Doesn't keep the touch within her control. Forward goes Williams. Just decided to try and take the shot herself. Corner comes in. Punch away, not too clean. It's 2-2. Here's the strike. Full time. West Torrens Birkalla in that fifth and final spot knocking out Adelaide City in the process.
The Matildas are on fire, but the Socceroos have the breakthrough.
Welcome to 5AA Football Fives. No skills, no worries, no time to train, no need. Perfect for friends, family and kids. It's fast, fun football for everyone, so spend your summer nights under lights and register now at football5SSA.com. Proudly powered by 5AA, Always Adelaide.
As here come our two sides. The bar has been set. It's a great run from Kyra Cooney-Cross.
Turn under pressure.
Here come the Socceroos again. Good one on the right foot, and the Socceroos have the breakthrough. What a goal! The Matildas are running amok. Opens up for the shot.
Sinclair up the double. There's the back foot. Australia head over heels about this superstar.
Referees back out on the park. The assistant referees are checking the nets. I don't think there's any crabs. It is crab season though, Simon, but there's none in there tonight.
Looking forward to this second half. Nice close one. We were saying before, it's not that it's been a flat game, but some of those opportunities been a little bit hard to come by.
Yeah, it's been a good game of football, but it hasn't been overly too many chances for both teams. We saw the one goal trickle over the line and barely just make it over the line. But like I said, that interview just before halftime gives me the sense that Playford are going to have it. They would have had a good chat at halftime. They're going to come out and they're going to want to put Birkalla under some pressure, whether that's physical pressure or mental pressure by scoring a goal. We'll soon find out.
I think their demeanour and everything in that interview sort of showed how composed they're feeling and that they're just going to keep going with the system and stick to the plan into the second half.
That indeed, as Christian Vidicchio kicks off the second half, it's Charlie Devereaux going long trying to find Zoid Sarkani and almost does. Might actually cross back down to our sideline reporter who is down on the sidelines, Shane Robinson. I can feel it getting a lot colder up here. I hate to see how you're feeling down there.
Yeah, look, it's cold down here, boys. The last 5 minutes of that first half, the temperature just dropped right off. I heard you saying about the instructions from the coaches there. I did have a quick chat to Benny Moore on his way back out, and sort of the key areas that Playford want to look at here is they want to really shut down Sarkani. He's so dangerous, as we've spoken about when we've commentated Birkalla before, Connie. He's such a dangerous player, so Playford really want to focus on really shutting down Sarkani. Whereas for Birkalla, it's just more of the same. So back to you.
Much the same thoughts from everyone then is that Zoid Sarkani is
he's dangerous.
Doing as he wants, really, out there, isn't he? Yeah, causing trouble. So, Playford City now with a chance again. Ryan it is, who delivered some really good set-piece deliveries in the first half. From this position, flips this one in. It's taken a deflection. Oh, it looked like it come off a Birkalla head. No, it didn't. We'll have to have a look at the replay. That's just gone onto the roof of the net. So, Nick Harpus.
Yeah, this one.
Play restarts with a goal kick. Scambiatero, the nice little back heel. Ahmad. It's cleared by Braden French. It's going to fall back with Birkalla. Glushkov with some space. Can put a nice cross into the box. He's given some space to do so. Finds Scambiatero. Look to do that little shimmy move again that he does so well. Finds Lessie. And Birkalla more than happy not to force things and just keep possession. Morris finds Sakani in some space. He'll look to pull some strings. Scambiatera again gets past that player with ease. He gets into the box. Has a go on goal. Oh! Side netting.
Well, you mentioned those two very players that just had to play in that. Sakani and Scambiatera, the two players that really need to be watched. And look what happens when they link up. Nice shot on goal. Unfortunately, that one a little bit too much of an angle to see much of it. But nonetheless, another opportunity for Birkalla. And
well, it looks like it's taken a deflection because it's going to be a corner.
Yeah, right.
On the far side. It's Christophilos who walks over right in front of our cameraman to deliver this. And you can see the flag there. So the breeze is sort of picking up a little bit more as the game goes on. Straight into the face of Christophilos. So this left foot delivery will be very dangerous with that little bit of a breeze as well. Clips it in, but unfortunately can't beat that man at the near post, and Birkalla will have to chase back, and Devereaux puts a nice challenge in to win the ball back fairly. Now it's Scambiatera, tried a little flick to get it in his path to run on and shoot, but goes out for a goal kick, and that corner is really disappointing from Christophilos, isn't it? We always say you've got to beat that first defender with a cross to make it dangerous, and he couldn't do so on that occasion.
Yeah, it just wasn't delivered the way that I'm sure he would have wanted to. But just there, almost found Stevenson with that little slip through there following that corner kick. So Birkalla looking threatening early.
Quichi couldn't clear again. False of Voigt. Morris with a last-ditch effort. Sakani wins the header once again. Scambiatera now with some space. Looks up, but decides to go short for Glushkov overlapping, and a strong challenge by Tyson Harriman.
Well, Terra stops Scambiatera in his tracks there. And lucky for that, because when he's running full steam and gets a foot to it on the right-hand side there, he can be very, very dangerous.
He can be very hard to stop on the right-hand side especially. And we know when he's on the left, he likes to cut in and have a shot. So one of those players that can cause grief on both sides of the pitch. Cohen Morris, the former Metro Stars man. Obviously Metro Stars losing last night. He would have had a lot of friends playing in that game, and he'd be looking to go one better than some of them.
Yeah, it was a tough night last night for Metro Stars in the end.
Here is Ahmad. Quichi, just with a short little pass that time, and Lessie opens up the play, finds Devereaux. Ahmad tried the first time ball to Stevenson. It might get there in the end with a little bit of a misplaced pass by Playford. They get possession, and now it is Isaac Mullen. So both teams looking like they've just changed something up slightly. So Playford have tweaked it and look like they've got more players forward of the ball, whereas Birkalla looking to press but not as high as they did before, and Sakani goodness me, sorry about that. Thankfully didn't collect anybody. It's a throw in for Playford.
Not the first half that Playford wanted in terms of losing Santiago Tabares. Kurt's brought on though, and I'm sure they would have been reorganising things at half time to try and increase.
Punches.
Playford fans getting very vocal in the crowd tonight.
Yeah, they need to get some security just to quieten them up a little bit, I think.
Here they come.
Here is Playford going forward, though. It's Braden French, and his cross to the back post is now it's a little bit of misplaced passing there by a couple of the Playford players, but they're going to get a corner out of all that. So very fortunate indeed, because it looked like the opportunity was lost with Ryan and Kurtz, who didn't have it under control.
Yeah, Kurtz was beaten on that attack on the left-hand side there. Once he was shut off, it didn't look like he was going to get the shot off, but nonetheless, they'll be happy they would have won that corner. An opportunity for Playford here, and will swing in towards goal.
It's going to be a in-swinger, as you mentioned. Right on the spot. Harpers comes, but Doesn't get anything on the ball. Now it's Lessie. He's got a player away to his left, but that's on his blind side and finds Ahmad. Ahmad. Can't get out. It's given away. Penendez picks it up on the edge of the box. Mullen's there. Mullen might have a go from distance and completely miscues that one there, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Bit lucky there. I think it was Glushkov that tried to get that clearance and was intercepted by Playford there, and all of a sudden they had a bit of a chance on goal happening there. They would have loved to even the score 52 minutes in, but not to be. Having said that, though, they've been looking a little more threatening than the latter part of the last half during the first 7 minutes or so of half number 2.
Ball goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Osby. It's given away. Sakani's there, but looked like he was in an offside position had he touched the ball. Playford get the ball back, though. They go forward. It's near side. The far side of the camera. It's Butler. Clips one in. It takes a deflection. Again, it falls. Oh, he goes down, but no contact there. They have a little think about it. Christian Vidicka had a real little look at his linesman to see if there was any contact, but nothing forthcoming for Playford.
Well, from this angle, it looked fairly clean, I thought, and Birkalla wanted to break away there, but not to be.
Just have another look at that one. Was there anything there? If anything, it was
He's
very
pointing
minimal.
to his arm, so I think it might have been.
Yeah, it's minimal. Probably a good decision to play it on. You don't want to see penalty given for something that you're not too sure about. Just
True.
play it on. It's funny because I actually read an article during the week with a referee in Europe where he admitted that he lets controversial stuff go as Playford go forward. He admitted that he lets controversial stuff go if the goal is of extreme pleasure. He likes seeing good goals, and he's a football fan after all, he says, so he admitted to it, which is great.
I saw something similar with an Australian referee, actually, and he was talking that, saying
Here's
that
Tarkani, sorry to cut you off,
No,
looked
you're
like
right.
Sam Pierre was going to pull the trigger. Go ahead.
And he was saying a similar sort of thing, that he applies the rules of the game more about controlling the game and making sure it doesn't get out of hand rather than being so strict with them. And I think in this age of VAR at top level and things like that, maybe with that safety net there, people are maybe a little bit more careful rather than trying to give players the benefit of the doubt, which may have been the case previously. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get calls you like and calls you don't like. It's just part of the game.
At the end of the day, the video can't even get it right, so just
just let them play.
Let human error play. Does well to hold on to that one. Devereaux finds Sakani again, who's in a lot of space. Releases Stevenson, who's got a bit of a paddock to run into if he chooses to kick and run. Not just yet. Waits for Sakani. Then goes inside beautifully. He's tugged on the shirt by Harvey. Gets away with it. The referee happy to pay the advantage there for West Times Birkalla. He does, in the end, point to Sean Harvey and say, just be careful what you're doing. You pulled the shirt back there. Obviously, Harvey, another one of those players with a terrific CV here in South Australia, being a part of the Campbelltown team that won back to back in 2018, 19 and 20. Very good player is Sean Harvey, who is the captain of this side. They take the corner quickly. In an advanced position, it's going to be clipped in. It falls, it's Kurtz. He picks it up, scuffs his shot. Mullen's there. Birkalla clear.
Well, things are looking end to end at the moment. Bit of an exciting start to this second half. I think, long ball in.
Penendez
Well timed
attempts
better.
to go up, but it's cleared. Only as far as Butler. Kurtz on the swivel has a shot, and in all honesty, the first 10 minutes of this half, it's been Playford who are having the ball fall, in good areas for them, but they just can't get a shot of any velocity on the goal. It's been a scuff shot that time around by Kurtz, but you'd get the sense that they are looking to test Harper and see what he is made of. We know what he's made of because he proved that in the first half when Tabarez tried to run through him. But in terms of his goalkeeping skills, he's a very good goalkeeper, but he hasn't really been tested tonight, has he?
Well, we saw him have a bit of an iffy moment there early on when he just got his fingertips to the shot that looked like it had passed him. But you're right, especially in the later part of that second half, we saw him being a little bit quieter than the game would have started, which I'm sure he'll be happy with. But at the same time with Birkalla...
Sorry, just to take a minute to enjoy that little flick again by Tsakani. But go ahead.
I was just going to say, when a game's end-to-end like this, it's tricky because you don't get to point out little moments like that Sakani just had with that clever little flick.
This ball, though, it's there again for Butler, and it's taken another deflection. So Playford will get the chance to set up a set piece here.
And I was just going to say, on that note of clever little flicks, Charlie DeVroe had that one about a couple minutes ago now that almost collected the ball from behind him with his heel, put it in front of him, and he was running onto it and looked like a threatening opportunity there. So Birkalla still having their moments this half, even though, as you said, it's been a lot of Playford traffic, and that's the case again with this corner.
So it's Woolard who will trot over to take this one in front of the West Torrens subs. It's delivered in, it's clipped in, it's Devro there. Does it hit a hand? The referees wave it away. Well, technically under the new rule that has come out this year, that's not a handball because it's not an error in terms of the way he's set himself up. It's actually come off his head in his hand. So the new rule states that if your hand's in a position where it's unable to be out of the way, then it's play on.
Thoughts about that new rule?
Well, I like it because you do see a lot of the times, and I think the rule is also for those ones where the shot comes in and it hits a hand from a metre away. What can you do? So I love it because, again, I saw a lot of those go against my teams that I support, so I'm very happy. And that was the case there for West Torrens Birkalla. Here's another one, though. Ooh. Nearly slipped through there. Voigt, Kurtz, the substitute, has another go. Does it take another deflection? The referee, what's he doing here? We're just waiting because no one really knows. He signals a goal kick. So Quichi jumped in. Lessie pushed him out the way, but I don't think there was any contact on the player. And another good decision by Christian Verdicchio, I think he's refereed this quite well from the get-go. He stopped play when needed in the first half and hasn't had to really deal with too much in terms of Malla's challenges.
Well, it's been quite it hasn't been too crazy a game in terms of challenges. Both teams conducting themselves in a pretty sportsmanlike way so far, but who knows, these things tend to change with about 10 minutes to go in the game, and I'm sure if we saw Playford equalise, things would change a little bit again.
Sakani might have a go from distance, might try and skip past a few as well. He had a shirt pull there. Referee didn't see it or chose not to play the decision in favour. In fact, Birkalla keep the ball, and now it's all the way back with Cohen Morris. Goes for a little bit of a drive, and Sakani again first time finds Ahmad. Will he slip through a player? No, he goes across, attracts attention from three Playford players. He's back now with Quichi. He's got that bouncing locks, a bit like the Johnny Kecko hairstyle, isn't it?
It is very Johnny Kecko-esque.
Morris gets out of trouble. Scambiatera holds it up. Devro releases Christophilos. But it's Harvey who comes across. He might just cross down to Shane Robinson down there. Is there any sign of any change on either bench down there, or any coaches giving some words of wisdom?
Yeah, we've got Matty Capone warming up fairly aggressively down here, so I'd say he's going to be the first one on fairly shortly. Just going back to what you boys said before about it being end-to-end, we heard Dan Ryan say when we spoke to him at the end of that first half that they will score in this game, so I'd expect them to be having a few more shots and really testing Nick Harpus this half. It is the sort of weather for it, we've got that real slippery ground, so it's the sort of night where you're going to have those little snapshots,
Thank you for that, Shane. And no sign of the 300-man Mantis warming up, as we see Ahmad go to ground, and he's going to pick up a yellow card, and I think that's the first of the match, isn't it?
You know what? He rather than yellow, he deserves a gold medal for bravery for taking on that man there. Christos Penendis. Ahmad, not the biggest fella, and I reckon he's chosen the largest foe that he can on the field to take on, but unfortunately, yellow card. I think if you're going to take on a player like that, you're going to go in aggressive if you've got that much of a difference in stature. We heard it moments ago, Playford want to get a goal in this second half.
You know what they say, wise men said only fools rush in, don't they? Free kick, Woolard delivers, it's in swinging, it's there on the spot, but again cleared. Mullen with the second chance, does they hit a hand? It falls again, Christian Vidico waves it away. And now it could be a chance for Birkalla on this counter-attack. Scambiatera, he's got Stevenson with him, but he chooses to beat Harvey with pacing on his own. And in the end, Scambiatera got away from Harvey and gave him a second chance, and with the experience of Sean Harvey, as soon as you give him another chance to tackle you, he's not going to make the same mistake twice. No, that's not a penalty. That's a play on.
Well, we're talking about handball rules earlier there. The arm was by his side. I'm not sure where else he meant to put it. So, yeah, it would have been a very unfortunate way to concede a penalty there. But Birkalla very nearly making the most of the counter-attack there.
Lessie wins the header. Penendez brings this down. Got a player on the far side, which he uses now. Makes his way forward. He's unmarked at the moment, Penendez. If they can find him, it'll be deadly in the box. It's clipped in. Koichi does enough to deal with it. Devereaux still in the dangerous area for Playford. Oh, and that's a late challenge by Isaac Mullen. He goes into the book. So a couple of quick succession challenges which go, well, catch the eye of the referee, and 2 yellow cards like that for a couple of players who both play in the middle of the park, and they have to watch their step now. So,
well, we said it had been a pretty calm game up until this point, and it's still looking fairly calm. Not really seeing tempers go, but the challenge is looking a little bit more desperate. But I've got to say, Penendez looks pretty dangerous, especially with that run forward that he had about a minute or so ago. When he's on the end of the ball, it seems like he's going to be very, very difficult to stop. So he might be the man to equalise for Playford very soon.
Again, into the feet of Zakani. We go back to the, like I said at the start, we were a little bit rushed at the start, and I wanted to mention how we were at that game where Birkalla got the automatic promotion, and we were in the club rooms after the game, and we saw what it meant to not only Amin, the president, but Stab, the coach, the captain, Nick Harpus, and they were really stern on being here tonight, winning this game. But not only that, they were stern on making the Go Sunny Solar WNPL Grand Final, which their girls get to have the chance to do tomorrow. So that would be a massive achievement if they can not only win tonight as Playford go forward, it's clipped in. It's going to fall for Woolard. We'll come back to that in a moment. Yeah, so what a massive achievement to do the double in the State League 1 and then have their women in the same position that they can get to a grand final as well as the flag goes up for offside. It gives us a bit of time to have a chat about that. So that night, they were just so adamant that this is what they wanted. The direction was clear. They've got the right people in place. You heard Amin say that Stav Kalekis was the best decision they've made in recent years. Zoid Sakani's come over from Olympic and just run absolute havoc for the team, hasn't he?
Yeah, they were very animated that night, and like you said, expected nothing less than to get the double. Interestingly, we spoke to Stav during the week. He said it was a little bit tricky. He found it a bit of a challenge to make sure the players were up for it, following the, I guess, hangover of the news that they did secure that automatic promotion, but he was confident that they've set themselves up to get the victory tonight. Just to mention as well, the Rezzies with the win as well. 3-0 against Cumberland earlier today as well, so you can't have the seniors let them down, can you?
No, and that was actually a conversation I had with the goalkeeper coach, Costa Zakharopoulos, when I first arrived today, was that the reserves boys done their job. It's up to these guys now to take that second trophy home today, and it would be a third bit of silverware that they can claim this year. And again, with the Go Sunny Solar Women's National Premier League still to be concluded, they've got a chance to make the grand final there. They play tomorrow, and that's just a sign of a club that's in good stead, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. And even that... Oh, here's Playford.
Here goes Playford, though. Trying to ruin those plans.
Oh! Equalised on the 65th minute. Huge celebrations from Playford. Locked things up. 1-0 was never going to be enough 65 minutes in to consider yourself with one hand on the trophy, and Playford all of a sudden lit a fuse under this match. I have a feeling that the next 25 minutes or so are going to be electric for us here.
Well, in the end, it was something that was half a chance, became a strike from outside the box. It fell nicely for the substitute, Kurtz. He went across the goalkeeper, Harpus, and Harpus, I think he actually lost his footing. If you have a look at that again, he lost his footing and couldn't complete the dive down low. Into the bottom corner it goes, and it sets up an absolute grandstand finish here in the State League 1 final. Both these teams now locked at 1 apiece.
And it was Kurtz, the sub, that got the goal. Came on for Santiago Tabares. Managed to do what they were expecting him to do, get a goal to his name. They'll be on the hunt for more.
Well, Simon, I mentioned that none of the games have gone past the 90 minutes. We've got 23 to play here at Service FM Stadium. It's West Torrens Birkalla 1 and now Playford 1 as well.
We might have to chat to Shane soon as well, because he had his crystal ball. He said this is the sort of game where you're going to fancy yourself against the keeper in slippery conditions, and that's exactly what happened there. And as you said, Harper seemed to lose his footing and not have the anchor there to launch himself and save that one and play for the beneficiaries with that.
Well, we've got to throw it on the other side, and Shane, you might have something for us.
Yeah, we've got the man of the moment, Costa Mantis, in his 300th and last game. As soon as that goal went in, got called down from warming up, and he's just run in, done some final preparations and putting the shin pads on. So the man of the moment will be coming on very shortly for West Torrens Birkalla.
Well, that is fantastic news for the viewers. Costa Mantis getting ready down below to come on and maybe throw his 300 games of experience into this one.
Well, 71-minute mark is when he came on last week. We're at 68 minutes now, so possibly what they had planned for tonight. What a way to be to cap off his 300-game career to get a win for the boys tonight.
Oh, Harvey does. Sorry, not Harvey. Getting myself confused with these players for Playford that play the back. They all look very, very similar. They've all got blonde hair, big units, and they don't pull out of challenges. Here is Sakani. Can he provide a moment of magic, which he's done for the last few weeks? Ahmad, and maybe will we see that substitution now? Not just yet. Looks like the game will go on. So, interesting to see who will be making way for the like of Costa Mantis. It could be maybe Stevenson or Ahmad on that yellow card. Who knows what Stav Galekas and his staff are thinking at the moment. As we see a little bit of a head tennis go on there, and then in the end, Christian Vidicchio blows the whistle for a free kick, and that number 2, worn by Costa Mantis, makes his way to the 4th official.
Yeah, it's going to be Melad Ahmed, I believe, coming off, boys, so it's a massive call.
So Melad Ahmed, who picked up that yellow card earlier in the first half, looks like the man that's going to be withdrawn at the next stoppage in play. It's Playford with possession, though, and you could say they've got the tails up at the moment as well, Simon.
Yeah, well, you can definitely... The mood in here is just intensified a little bit in the last couple of minutes, seeming like it's going to be all systems go. Costa Mantis will go on now and give it all he's got for his 300th and final game of his very accomplished career.
So there is that substitution we've been speaking about for the last few moments. And a massive roar, you could say, for Costa Mantis as he comes on for his 300th game and final game of that as well. Melad Ahmad not in too much of a rush to get off, but also asking the question. Doesn't seem... Shane, I'm going to go straight back down to you. Doesn't seem too happy to be coming off at all.
No, he's not happy at all, boys. Not happy whatsoever. It's Stav sort of said to him just he was coming off, it's all right, mate, we just need to change a few things around, but he's certainly not happy. I mean, look, he's on a yellow card, and in a grand final you certainly don't want to go down to 10, so you understand the thinking behind it, but it is still a massive call.
Well, I think you're exactly right. You have to switch things around a little bit, and Mantis joining the attack of the likes of Sarkani and Scambiatera can be a very potent mix for the rest of this second half.
It's turned over. Fernandez
big challenge
goes to ground, and Lessie gets a yellow card, and Fernandez jogs off with a bit of a smile on his face there, knowing that he sort of sucked Lessie in, and there wasn't too much in it. For me, let that go. It wasn't a tangle of much, was it? It was just...
Well, remember, I said Lessie's on 2 red cards this year, so maybe he's being watched pretty closely by officials. I'm not sure who's given him those red cards, but once you start collecting those, you seem to
Well,
attach a bit of attention.
There's already been 2 crystal balls tonight that have been confirmed, and that is Playford said they were going to score,
Yep.
and Shane said to test the keeper in the wet conditions.
Yep.
You could be the 3 of 3 if that happens, but let's not put the mockers on any players just yet. We've still got 19 minutes to go here. Playford in somewhat control here. They're picking up the loose balls, which Birkalla were picking up in the first half, and now the tables have turned. As they go forward again, Woolard clips one into the back post. Harpers has to come and claim. If he didn't, it would have been a bit of trouble there. It looked like it was French trotting in at the back post.
Not a bad call to give Harpers another test there, but here come Birkalla on the counter.
Sakani, Mantis, just showed a bit too much of it to Voigt on that occasion. Harpers goes out to get this with Penendez coming to put some pressure on, but no one was following Penendez, and he sort of was a little bit upset that there was no one else following him there to press high up on the Birkalla goalkeeper. Devro
Great
finds
ball.
Scambiatera. Scambiatera's got Stevenson. He's also got Mantis there. He uses him. Mantis tries a little flick over the top. Gets it back though, Mantis. He's in the box. They've got to be careful. Glushkov, Lessie. Does he get one into the box? He doesn't. He gives it back to Mantis. A couple of nice little touches to get into the game there for Costa Mantis.
Yeah, already making a bit of an impact, and Birkalla seeming to be a little bit more patient with their attack, rather than trying to overwhelm Playford quickly, trying to hold possession a little bit more and give their players time to work themselves into dangerous positions.
Yeah, the referee sort of tried to let the advantage go there for Zoid Sakani, but in the end he comes back with the free kick, and not in an overly dangerous position, but we saw in the first half that, from 40 yards out, Zoid Sakani was happy to play or have a go at goal.
Well, on a slippery deck is when you want to give it a crack. As we said before, it already paid dividends for Playford, but he opted for the short option, and Birkalla will build up again. 73 minutes into this second half, and so far looking like it's going to be a late night, which I'm good with, Con. You haven't got an early start tomorrow, have you?
Thanks for throwing me under the bus there, mate.
Sorry, you're having a coughing fit, and...
No early start, just a child that will wake up at 7 a.m. and I'll have to get up, so...
you'll be right.
Better make the most of it tonight. Harpers goes long, finds Sakani. His header down to Lessie. Lessie tries to slice that one out wide. But all it does is put Birkalla back under pressure. Flips it forward. Penendez is in a dangerous position. He misses it. It falls again. Goes to ground. Another strong challenge. And French has stayed down after that one.
So dangerous there. Harpers didn't know what to do. The ball was coming in from the right-hand side. There were players approaching from the left. Put under real pressure there. Could have been something very dangerous from Playford. And as you said, French still on the ground at the moment. Not sure if he was trying to make a case for the penalty there or just recovering, but he's on his feet again now. Throw in on the far side. Sakani fancies himself against two players, and the only person that stopped him was the ref. But it looks like they've won the free kick, and Butler getting a bit of a talking to from Christian Verdicchio.
I wouldn't say tempers are flaring, Simon, but they're definitely heating up.
Yeah, you can see the desperation starting to set in here. It was a long game, though, last week for Playford going right to the end. So will that affect them a week later having to go to all 120 minutes?
We will wait and see what the final 15 minutes has in store. But here we go. That pass, just a little bit too much on it for Voigt to chase down.
How experienced is Harpers in goals, though? Just his composure there.
Well, they call that playing as a sweeper, which in the old days you used to set up with the back four and then a person behind, and that's what he's doing tonight, is playing as a sweeper, which just collects all those loose balls. And it's exactly what you get to do when you play on a pitch like this, as Birkalla go forward again. Devro, Mantis. You can see they're trying to get Devro and Mantis on the ball as much as possible now since conceding that goal and since Mantis has entered the fray. Here he is again, just keeping possession of the ball. Koichi, again, Mantis finds a little pocket of space.
I really like seeing Birkalla play at this speed because we'll flash back to round 22 again. It was this sort of setup that they had a lot of success with. They'd hold the ball in possession, and it would only take a couple little clever runs from the likes of a Sakani or from your Scambiateras, and they'd move that ball in long and all of a sudden just really catch the defence on the back foot and put themselves into really threatening positions.
Well, and that one is in the grandstand, or is it on the roof?
Haven't seen the ball return yet, so I think that's someone's going to have to get the ladder out on Monday.
That one's gone all the way up onto the roof, boys. I don't think it's coming down tonight.
I'll tell you what Birkalla do have, and that is Zach Becker on the bench, which I believe he's warming up down there with the rest of the subs. He actually scored his first goal for the season in the first leg of the final against Salisbury, and then backed it up last week with that crucial goal that got them to where they are today. So he's proven that he can find the back of the net in the last couple of weeks, and could he make it 3 from 3 if he enters the pitch tonight?
It'd be great if he does. He's a player that's worked his way up from reserves a little bit earlier in the year. Scored 7 times for the Rezzies, but since moving to seniors, scored twice then. So not a bad impact player to have on the bench. And we've got someone warming up. And that looks like the back of the head.
Looks like Mason Ayubi and Jonathan Dorigo. We'll get down to Shane.
No, we've got Zach Becker and Mason Ayubi about to come on for Birkalla.
There you go. There's your crystal ball.
Oh, there we go. So I just saw the haircut and it looked like Dorigo from the back. But Becker and Ayubi to come on, Shane. Who's coming off, mate? Do you know, or we're going to wait and see?
Just stand by, just finding that out now.
Come back to you in a moment. Playford with possession, though. Clip one looking for Penendez, but it goes past him. But Christophilos' clearance isn't good enough. It's going to be clipped back in by Butler to the near post.
Oh.
Misses Penendez. Harpers comes. Gets a glove on it. It's with the goal scorer. Kurtz slips one through. Harpers makes himself big again. The flag goes up, but boy, oh boy, was that good goal kicking by Nicholas Harpers.
He scrambled to get himself after getting a hand to that initial ball, found himself in the right position.
Down to you, Shane. Who's coming off, mate?
You've got Christophilos coming off as the one that I heard, and the other one will be Austin Scambiatera. So another big call here from Birkalla.
Another one that doesn't look overly impressed with coming off either.
Well, interestingly, we heard from Playford at half-time when they said that Scambiatera was a player that they'll be watching. Maybe they've been a little bit more thorough in keeping him subdued, and Birkalla going for a little bit of a different look.
And a big one as well. Zach Becker, boys, for Birkalla, scored in both legs of their semi-finals. So he's been a super sub of late for Birkalla. So it is a big on. Austin Scambiatera may not have been happy about it, but look, he's got the runs on the board the last few weeks. So big one.
And here they come.
Devereaux got shut down quickly, but it falls with the man that's been quite impressive tonight, and that's Zoid Zakani. Here is the other man that entered the field of play just recently, and that's Mason Ayubi. Nearly said Austin Ayubi. That's his brother who plays for Adelaide United.
It's tricky with an Austin Scambiatera. I can't even get his name out now. There's too many people with similar names is what I'm trying to say.
Maybe a goal kick for Playford. As we enter the final 10 minutes of regulation time. Penendez goes up for the header against Glushkov and wins the loose ball. Here's Kurtz, who's been quite a nuisance since he entered for Tabarez. We thought Tabarez going off was a big loss, but it turns out that Kurtz has done a very fine job himself.
Well, finding the back of the net once himself. He's done the job to equalise into this second half. And I tell you what, this game at the moment is just feeling like a real arm wrestle. It's not a firecracker of a game. That would be dishonest of me to say that, but it's just really, really close. Playford with the more convincing chances as of late, especially when they forced Harpers into action about 5 minutes ago. And he may be called into action here with this corner.
It's going to be swung in again. It's on Harpers' head. He claims that one very safely.
Rock solid
from the captain. He might look to release Ethan Stevenson on the far side, but he can't do so because Penendez expertly runs or walks across him, so he can't release the ball.
Veteran move.
I haven't met... Well, having coached at Olympic when Penendez was playing seniors, I've never met a player with so many tricks up his sleeve and getting away with it so many times either. It looks like he doesn't get away with that one though.
Manhandled Zoid Sarkani. Used his big body to shield the fact that he gave him a nice hug there.
They're actually teammates back when Zoid Sarkani came back to Australia to play 3 years ago. He went to Adelaide Olympic when they were both there together, and they teamed up together and now playing against each other tonight.
What was that?
That is a very good effort by Andrew Butler, falling over on the ground and headering the ball.
I've never seen a header that close to the ground before, but there you go. It's the first time for everything tonight. That even got a bit of a crowd pop.
Yeah, that's an unreal bit of skill. That got the crowd up and about. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, we've just seen the replay there. That was a very good effort to do that. It's the little things, Simon. It's the little things.
Well, you're talking about tricks up your sleeve. You know, you're going to get those 1%ers. That's admirable. Header from laying down position. Here come Playford.
Glushkov does well enough to see that one out, to throw in for Playford in a very dangerous position. Shout out to our camera crew as well, who are on that Gatorade scaffold on the far side. They must be absolutely freezing over there.
Well done, guys. Have a Gatorade on us.
The ball gets whipped in. It's on Harpus again. Again, strongly claimed. Penendez couldn't get a jump at that one. It looks like it's going to be released. Becker, can he flick this one through?
Oh!
That was millimetres away from being in on goal, and on the opposite, it was Harvey with the last-ditched effort.
We mentioned Scambiatera in that first half being centimetres off. That was the case then as well with Becker. And what a throw that was from Harpus as well. Almost perfectly placed to release Becker there.
Another great switch of play. Diagonal ball across. Lands in the lap of Butler. Skips past Ayubi. Gets into the box. Can they create another chance to find the lead? Penendez is there. Oh, he slips over. It's going to go back to Butler. Does it hit a hand? It's still Butler with another chance. It's 2-1 to Playford. Persistence has paid off for Playford. Not 1, 2, but 3 chances on goal. It goes in. They've come from behind and they're 2-1 up here in the grand final with not very long left.
83 minutes played. Playford find the back of the net again. And as you said, Con, their persistence has well and truly paid off there. We saw both teams miss out on a shot and get the rub of the slip there, but
I'll tell you what,
really unfortunate.
When you look at the replay, and I'm going to be brutally honest but fair, is that Quichi hasn't had the best game, and by standing on the line there, he's actually kept Butler onside. If he had stepped up with the rest of his defenders, I'm sure the flag would have been raised, but not to be the case. Playford take the lead 2-1 here. 84.5 minutes played. And the jubilation we were speaking about with Birkalla and what they wanted to achieve this year, it's going out the window, Simon, and there's not long left to retrieve it.
Well, I'm not liking the body language on Zakani at the moment, who's about to kick off. Heads down, hands are on his shoulders, but we're going to need a whole team effort here from Birkalla to try even the ledger again and bring us into extra time tonight.
So Birkalla finding themselves in what is a unfamiliar situation in the recent weeks.
Clumsily given away there, and Penendez
Devereaux wins the ball, or does he? No, he doesn't. The referee, well, the linesman's called that one. So, did he win the ball? No, he didn't. Penendez just got a little touch in there. Great officiating by Thomas Temby, the linesman on this near side. And Vidicio issues a yellow card for Charlie Devereaux. And as we mentioned, they lost last week, but they were probably in the situation where they could have took that game easy, which they probably didn't do on purpose, but they got the job done. So this week, finding themselves with only 5 minutes now to find an equaliser to send this one to extra time, having gone into the break 1-0 up. It's delivered into the box. We saw last week as well, Playford, they can score in quick succession. They've done their job. Now it's Birkalla with all the chasing to do.
We were having the conversation a lot at the start about the fact that this game could be considered a dead rubber, and with the fact that they've both already qualified for promotion. But if you're Birkalla at the moment and you're 1 goal down, with 4 minutes to go of regular time, you really aren't happy about that point. You're not going to let things go because you've already promoted. You're going to be going for it as hard as you can for that last little bit of the game. And since that last goal, we've seen one yellow card shown. Christian Vidicchio's back on the whistle.
Unsure what's going on here because that's the second time in a few minutes that a random ball has made its way onto the pitch. So I don't know if someone's playing little tricky buggers down there, but
that sounds like classic tricky buggers, I reckon.
Maybe someone trying to get a little bit of additional time here to sort of prolong the game. But
well, I also saw Vidicchio having a bit of a word with a couple of players that were warming up from Playford a second ago as well. I think that's what I saw from up here. So maybe the tactic is to put the brakes on at the moment.
Well, they have every right to try and get this game under control. Well, it is under their control. They're 2-1 up, but game management comes into play, and these are the moments that they will need to be able to do next year in the NPL, of course, playing against those higher profile teams as such, and they'll need to be able to, you know, win games in sticky situations and get over the line in situations like this. So it's really the perfect kind of game for them to do so tonight. And guess what? There's a trophy at the end of this one.
Well, I'll tell you what, Playford had looked rock solid tonight. They've had their cracks on goal, and Harpus has been very solid as well. He's taken some pretty nice saves at various points in the game today. So the fact that Playford are in front at the moment, reward for their consistent effort all night.
Ayubi tries to get that one in the box, but can't beat the man in front of him, which is the goal scorer of the second Playford goal, Butler, who's had a quite decent second half. Butler, he's been impressive with his overlap work and found himself in that position a couple of times earlier on, but that time there just persisted a few times and found the back of the net to give Playford the 2-1 lead. Here he is again, clearing that one. Morris wins the header. Devereaux.
Well, that goal for Butler that you mentioned, that'll be his 8th for the year, so getting him at the most important times.
Very even spread from Playford. You've got Penendez and Ryan all the way at the top, and then you've got an even spread of the midfielders chiming in with goals. Sakani in some space. They're going to need him to work some kind of magic in this last few minutes.
Strong
Penendez
tackle.
Goes in strong. Sakani stays down. Penendez jogs away from the scene. Playford go forward again, or no, they don't. They go to the corner flag with 2 minutes or 1 minute of normal time remaining. Sakani remains on the floor, and now the referee does stop play.
Penendez did a number on his former teammate there in Soy Sakani. The way he went down, the way he's holding his leg, does not look good for him. That's not a case of trying to stop the game. That's really concerning there. And Christian Vidicchio's gesture to the bench.
We might cross down to Shane, who I believe there's another substitution being made.
Yeah, there is. It will be Matty Capone coming on. It will be Sam Voigt coming off, I've heard. I think they just want to hold off on that for now. I did speak with Regis Queflek, the fourth official, a moment ago. There was going to be 6 minutes of stoppage, but I would expect that will be extended out to 7 or 8 minutes now as well.
Well, there you go.
What sort of look did you get at that hit there, Shane?
I didn't get a look at it at all. I just heard him hit the ground because I was finding out who was coming on. Sorry, boys.
Just looking at the replay, it looks like it happened right there, so you might have get the sound of it may have told the tale, I think. Looked like a pretty heavy challenge.
Well, there goes the confirmation of the additional time. Now that we've clicked over the 90, it's going to be 7 additional minutes. So still time for Birkalla here.
Well, Soy Sakani's on his feet.
He's going to have to come off after receiving the treatment because there was no yellow card issued, so...
He's getting a little bit of help, but looks like he's waiting to go back on.
I think he's okay. And
what a heavy tackle, though. That just, yeah, talk about walking into a brick wall there.
Looks like there's been a halt on that substitution as well. So Playford just waiting maybe to have possession of the ball before they make that change.
Yeah, I think that'll happen now, yep.
Here is that substitution, so it's coming off is, as Shane mentioned, it's going to be Sam Voigt coming off, and also Capone coming on. So trying just to ice this game now with a substitution, and Christian Vidicchio telling him just to hurry up a little bit, and it looks like there's going to be a last hurrah for West Orange Birkalla as well with a substitution down there. I can see it's Dorigo and Karatzis Karatzis coming on. Who's coming off, Shane? I couldn't see the first one, sorry.
First one came off was Cohen Morris over there on the bench, and the second one that's just come off is Ethan Stevenson.
So a very, very, very attacking change. They've now got 4 strikers on the park trying to find this equaliser with probably just over 5.5, 6 minutes maybe to play. Goes out for a throw in. Luigi picks the ball up, gives it to Glushkov. Karatzis. Another play. Oh, Mantis snips in there. Capone goes to ground. It falls. Goes to ground, another solid challenge. There was studs showing, but he got the ball, says Christian Badicchio. And then a foul on the far side, so be interested to have another look at that. It looked like it was a strong challenge. Oh, dear me, that is very, very close to a penalty. Oh.
Yeah, and seeing that replay, probably unlucky not to get the penalty there.
He's come flying in, and the only reason he got the ball was because the Birkalla player actually tried to flick it past him, and it sort of hit him, but he did collect him as well. It was there. If it had been given, there probably would have been no complaints, but
even leading up to that, Luke Osby was well off his line. It looked a bit like some of the players were on ice as the attack was made from there. Birkalla, but not able to capitalise, unfortunately, but could have very easily evened things up after 90 minutes just there. Probably only a couple of minutes to go now. Luke Osby will be in no hurry to take this goal kick.
And he's getting the hurry up now from Christian Badicchio. Oh, he's chosen to stop and prop and move it to the other side, and then he just plays it short. So, not too sure it was worth it, but we go on. Still enough time for Birkalla to create 1 or 2 more chances here, but that time is running out, and that's not the best touch for Costa Mantis.
We've seen a bit of a difference in styles between these two teams tonight. Birkalla creating some nice quick runs and opportunities coming from that. Then Playford just being really solid all night, being solid defensively, strong bodies up forward and trying to get those shots off where possible.
Playford in possession just where they wanted in their forward third of the pitch, and it's wasted by Capone. He just flicks it out for a goal kick. West Torrens Birkalla will get another chance to go forward. Will we see some late drama? We haven't had much late drama. Well, sorry, we did, because we had a red card and 2 goals in stoppage time last night. But will we see enough drama in the next 3 minutes to play that will send this one into extra time? If we don't see a goal, Simon, it's going to be Playford City heading back north with a championship trophy. And if it ends like that, you probably could say that it's well deserved, because they've come out the second half with anticipation to score that goal they wanted, and they've got 2. They might get a chance for a third here. Penendez. Harpers is off his line. Penendez doesn't choose to have that go. He just chooses to take some clock. And now they're just more than happy just to slow it down and take it to the corner flag, and Penendez just decides to boot that one after it's gone out and picks up a little bit of a silly yellow card, but you're probably going to take that with only a couple of minutes to play. 2 minutes to play here at Service FM. If we don't get any more stoppages, Playford City will be the champions. It's looking that way. They've got 2 minutes just to hold on here, or will they find a third? Harpers comes, clears just ahead of Kurtz. Karatzis goes up for the header.
Well, given that we will see both these teams in NPL this year.
Becker makes a run forward. It might not have been the right choice there by Dorigo to try and flip it over the top. He probably could have played it inside to Karatzis, who was free. But again, enough time here to see late drama. Shane, down to you.
Yeah, we are going to have another stoppage, boys. Playford at the end of a grand final up 2-1 are going to make a triple sub. So we're going to have Reece Townsend, Benjamin Taffordi and Ethan Allgate all come on very shortly. Unconfirmed who's coming off yet, but they will be coming on in the next minute or so.
So a triple substitution being readied if they get the time to make it. There's only 1 minute and change to play here. goes forward. The header's won straight into the back of Becker. And then the clearance isn't all that flash, and it goes out for a throw in.
I think he was pretty content to find the boundary there.
So we're going to have that change now, and coming off is Christos Penendez, who makes out he doesn't know he's been substituted yet. Another one of those little tricks he just pulls out the back pocket there.
Who, me?
And Ewi jogs off, having picked up that yellow card. Has to sort of trot off a little bit.
That's the slowest jog known to man. I'm sure he doesn't mind having that title.
Townsend makes his way on into the grand final.
Well, this will be a fun rivalry to see in NPL next year, I think, given that we will be seeing both of those teams there. Again, it's not been the wildest of games, but it's been a real arm wrestle, and both teams have had their chances, and, you know, whichever way the score could have ended up, can make a case that it would have been deserved by either side, but in a few seconds, I have a feeling we're going to be saying Playford, new champions.
The 7 minutes that were shown on the board are officially up, so this game is in the hands of that man in red, and it's Christian Badicchio who has the whistle. He will decide when he's had enough and when we can all go home and when Playford can lift that trophy up, but it looks like it's a free kick down there right in front of the benches. Harpers is going to come and take it, and absolutely everybody has gone up into the box here. Devereaux tells Harpers just to leave it, I'll take it. Harpers might even go up into the box, might he? No.
Thought about it for a second.
Let me clip it into the box. So, the last hurrah for season 2024. Harpers clips it in. It falls. It lands. It hits somebody. Townsend's got the ball. There's nobody ahead of him. It's just him and the goalkeeper, and a foot race between him and three Birkalla players. Butler plays it through. Capone can't bring it under control, but they've got it where they want it. The hands are in the air. Christian Badicchio blows the final whistle here at Service FM Stadium. And that is the end of the men's seasonal finals here at Service FM Stadium between the two promoted teams. It's Playford City come from behind to win 2-1 in the State League 1 Grand Final. And Simon, at the end of the day, it's a fair result because Playford come out with the endeavour to do well in the second half. They said they were going to score goals, and they did just that.
Deservedly so. I think we saw a team of professionals there in that second half. They were patient. They got the job done. Found the back of the net on two separate occasions there. And tonight they're going home with the silverware. Birkalla, very disappointed, but you got to say, Playford probably deserved it tonight. I guess the silver lining out of all of this is the fact that we will be seeing both these teams compete at the highest level in the state next year in the NPL, and very much looking forward to that. But for tonight, Playford have some celebrating to do.
Well, Playford have celebrating to do, and Shane, see if you can find someone down there, mate, because they deserve it.
Yeah, I'm down here with Braden French. I've obviously been at the club a long time, mate. Tell us what this means for this club.
Oh, it means the absolute world. I mean, I remember being bottom in State League 2 6 years ago to this. It's just absolute fairy tale, and absolutely love to be a part of it. Love this club. Always will. Beautiful.
Now, you guys started the better team. Sort of talk me through the match. Obviously, you conceded the goal first and sort of behind, came up probably better in the second half. Talk us through that second half.
I mean, you saw it last week, the character that this group's got. I mean, 1-0 doesn't faze us. We knew half-time reset, we'll come out, run our guts out, and, hey, get the rewards for it.
And not only winning the title tonight, but obviously back in the NPL, back in the first division for the first time in a long time. Tell me what that means for this club. You've been here a long time.
It's fantastic. This club absolutely deserves it from people that do all the hard work behind the scenes. Years ago, when no one wanted to do it, they still do it today, and it's all for them. All for people like Kev Winfield. Rest in peace, Kev. We absolutely love you, and I know you'd be so proud looking down on us today.
Well done, mate. Really well played tonight, so go over there and enjoy with the boys.
Thanks, mate.
Well, while Shane finds somebody else down there, who I'm sure he will, the celebrations are continuing. There's smiles on the faces of all the supporters here from Playford. Shane, who have you got, mate?
We've got captain of Playford here, Sean Harvey. Mate, massive night. Obviously, I'm sure you probably wanted it, especially after watching Campbelltown win it last night. Talk us through what this means for you.
Oh, man, it means everything. Well, I think it means more to the club. You know, they've been trying so long to get into the NPL, and then, you know, to come back from Blue Eagles last week and then to win it here, you know, like, look at them, it means the world. So, yeah, I'm so happy for them.
Talk us through your relationship with him more. How have you found, since you've come to the club, how have you sort of found Ben as a coach and what sort of what he's done with this group?
Yeah, well, I got along with him really well when we were playing at Campbelltown together. So when he gave me the call, it was pretty much the only reason I came. Him and Fife were coaching, and he's a great leader. Like, he's all about mentality and the way that he's brought this team together as a group. It's a hats off to him.
Well done, mates. Go and enjoy it. Go and lift that trophy, and I'm sure all the North is proud of you.
Thank you.
What a journey back to the NPL it's been. Celebrations well deserved for Playford tonight.
Yeah, it's been an amazing game, and I'd really like to also, if you can, Shane, try and get a hold of Christos Penendez down there. He was pretty good tonight, wasn't he? For a striker his size, he did well. He put the pressure on, and he led from the front. When Tabarez went off, I said he needed to stand up, and he did just that. He was very pivotal in what Playford produced in the second half. That's the experience of him as well. Like I said, he's Captain Olympic for many years. He chose to go to Playford, have a fresh start, and they're back up where he belongs and where they belong, I guess.
He uses his size so well, though, and that's the experience that you mentioned as well. Sometimes you're just a big body and it's a little bit hard to utilise that, but he really uses that as an advantage, and yeah, he was great to watch in that position tonight.
We'll just take a moment and down to Leo with the presentations and maybe another interview or two with Shane. Had a little bit of a fangirl moment for Jaden Betterman by his sidekick Seb O'Neill up here. We might have heard that in the background. It was quite loud. But the officials did a great job tonight, didn't they?
They really did. They let the game flow, and I think it was a pretty professional contest, you'd say, as well. It didn't get out of hand at any point. Sort of a few yellows late in the game, and yeah, it really allowed the officials to just keep the game going. Great job.
Not quite the disappointment as well, Simon. We've seen in the other two finals, there was a lot of tears last night with a couple of the senior players from Metro Stars. There was cheers from Audrey Vista today, but it's a little bit more of a different defeat, isn't it? Because they've achieved their goal of going up, West Torrens Birkalla, and yeah, they're probably dejected and upset that they've lost, but it's just a different feel about this game. But you can see the Playford players just getting riled up and ready to receive their winners' medal soon.
Well, I think to your point there, the difference is that Birkalla are at the start of their next journey, which is in the NPL. It's not like you've gone to the top of the mountain and you've missed out at the final hurdle. For them, they're probably already thinking about next year and how do we be competitive at the highest level of this game in this state.
We see Costa Mantis there also receiving his runners-up medal in his 300th and final game, and didn't go out a winner, but he goes out having achieved a fair bit in his career, Costa Mantis.
Great to see that he has a chance to spend that time in the middle of the pitch with his kids as well, and one of them's got the ball at his feet, so maybe we'll see another generation of Mantises in the future. He's liking that medal that he's holding as well. Maybe that's planting the seed. Not a bad touch for a little late.
Well, as the West Torrens Birkalla coaching staff come up to receive their runners-up medals, all eyes very, very shortly on a very happy Playford City squad. You can see the smile on Ben Moore's face from up here. Be interesting to, if we can, see what he has to say about this achievement tonight and over the past couple of weeks.
just great to see a team rewarded for their effort over years to get to this point.
This is going to be an interesting decision, isn't it? Because there's a lot of good players out there tonight. You know what? Now that I've seen it, I totally agree, because he was a standout in that second half and got that second goal, which ultimately won them the grand final. Look at him with his kids going up to receive, or not with his kids, goes up to receive that medal.
It's funny to see them with the kids, and they just aren't too fussed about the fact that of what's happening around them. Big congratulations to him. What a great job he's done tonight, and of course being the one to find the back of the net for the second time for the team.
Well, here we go, Simon. It's the time for the winners to come and receive their medals. And as Tyson Hirriman said on Tuesday at the press conference, they are more than happy to be known as champions of State League 1 here tonight. And one thing we haven't mentioned as well is that there's so much excitement, not only tonight, but what they achieved last week by getting here. It's been 20 years since they played top flight football. 2005 was the last time that they competed in top flight here in South Australia. So a huge achievement for all involved, and they thoroughly deserved it after that second half performance.
For sure, and I think for both teams, despite the fact that they'd already qualified for NPL before the game even started, it's really just a reward for all the hard work that they've been doing, not only for this week and the lead up to tonight, but over the past season and before that, and even the seasons before that as well. As you mentioned, 20 years before Playford have been at this highest level, so it's been a long time coming and a lot of hard work by a lot of players, officials and administration of the club as well to get to here, so they should really savour this moment.
Well, it's quite clear what it took, isn't it? You know, you look at that man there that's just on the screen, Christos Menendez, made his way over from Adelaide Olympic. Harvey from Campbelltown a couple of seasons ago, experienced winners of different competitions, and they've stamped their authority on this team and probably led the way most of the way, even though Harvey's the captain. Menendez is an outright leader, and that's what you need to win big games and to get you into the big stage.
What we heard from Michael Petrucciani after the Campbelltown win last night, one thing that he said that I thought was really interesting, he said it needs to be led by the players. He goes, when it's led by the players, then his job is easy, and when you got so many experienced players in the team, then it's all easy. You know, everyone's on board. They've bought into this project to get promotion for them. And I think that's exactly what's happened tonight. Rewarded for that.
100% right. When you've got a group of players that can lead the way, that's what makes it special about these moments. As Sean Harvey comes up to say a few words, we'll listen to what he's got to say.
You can't beat it, can you? We worked so hard just to get promoted, but yeah, to win this means everything to all supporters, family, boys, committee, so yeah, couldn't be happier.
Congratulations. It's a good group of players, this one. Heading into 2025, what can we expect to see from Playford City in the National Premier League this time?
I think you'll see exactly the same what we do. You know, we'll work on what we've done all season, and yeah, we'll give our best shot in the NPL.
Benny Hall will get you to come forward as well to present you guys as champions. Can you please put your hands together for Sean Harvey and Birkalla? The leadership champions Playford City. There is the Champions Trophy. Make sure they sign to the NPL.
Here's the moment that Playford City faithful have been waiting for 20 years to lift some silverware. That means the world to them. It's an official exclamation mark on their season and promotion to the National Premier League. And as that sign says in front of them, Playford City are champions of State League 1.
They can be so proud of themselves tonight.
And watch them get around this song. It's got the same feel as Campbelltown do with their tunes. Campbelltown do the Sweet Caroline. These guys do the Oh Baby.
It's great to see them have their moment in front of a big crowd as well. The conversation has been had around the structure and the fact that elsewhere around the world, the league is the big ticket. But it is rare that we see big crowds like this come out every game for these players. So for us to have all these grand finals on one day, to have this big crowd all here, and the fact that we can have these champions in front of everyone to really soak up that atmosphere and give all their families and their supporters the chance to get behind them is a really beautiful thing. So 2024 champions in State League 1, Playford, I'm sure it's just the start of the night for them.
And this is a touching moment. They're taking a moment out of their celebration and championship victory to make a guard of honour for Costa Mantis after 300 games. He bows out, getting the side he played for last promoted. Well done to you, Costa, and well done to Playford for such a sign of respect to a player that's given 14, 15 years of his career. We might give him that chance to do it again, I reckon.
Such a great little mark of respect to end the game. The whole game was pretty respectful. We just saw two really experienced teams give it their best on the field, and I think stopping to allow Costa Mantis to beat Chedoff in his 300th final game was such a classy way to finish it.
Yeah, just before Playford sing this song, boys, it's just worth mentioning, Benny Moore then stopped his team from singing their song to allow that moment to happen for Costa Mantis. So it shows you the sort of bloke he is, a really good leader of this team here at Playford.
Well, here we go, Shane. Get in there with the microphone. Get some emotion, mate. Shane, we're going to go down to you. See if you can grab Benny Moore for one last interview, mate.
Yeah, I'll just head over to Benny Moore now. Just give me 2 seconds just while I'll let him applaud his fans here, and then I'll pull him out the back.
What do you think about that dead rubber call now? I don't think so. They look pretty stoked out there.
Yeah, I think Shane's got Benny Moore now, so if we can get some insight with Benny and see how he's feeling, and just a touch on that little bit of respect there as well, which was fantastic by Benny.
Yeah, I've got Ben Moore with me here, boys, coach of Playford. Mate, talk us through how this feels.
It's amazing, mate. It's absolutely amazing. You know, it's been a long journey. It's been a long... I saw a twinkle in your eyes. I knew something was coming. It's like yeah, no, look, they're absolutely fantastic boys, and couldn't be happy, mate. What can you say? Words don't describe how good you feel.
It's one of those matches, as our poor cameraman here has been covered in the Gatorade. One of those matches you probably started off the better team. We said it sort of during commentary, and then were unfortunate to concede first. What was your instructions to the boys at half-time to sort of get them to come out and really come back into this match?
Yeah, we just wanted to be braver. We talked about being brave the last few weeks and just stepping into the space, and I just thought there was little key moments where we were just starting to get a bit hesitant after the goal, and just encourage the boys quite, generously to step into the space and just be brave. If you're going to go down, you give it a red hot crack, and they performed amazingly in the second half. We were thinking about making changes. What are we going to do? But that character that we've had the whole time, you just stepped into that space and you got the 2 goals, and well deserved in my opinion as well.
Yeah, 100%. And looking forward to next year now. Obviously, the club back in the NPL, massive for this club, first time in 20 years. how proud are you to have led the club number 1 back to the NPL, and sort of what are you expecting moving into next year with this group? Are you expecting to keep them all together?
Well, you know, like I took over 7 years ago, you know, bottom of State League 2 to get us back into the NPL. When I took over, I said, I don't want to ever win State League 2, I don't want to win State League 1, I come in to win the NPL. That's my drive and my aim, and, you know, it starts next year. It's a whole different journey now, like a whole different goal. We've got to where we need, and now we need to build on that and get us towards that top of the table. These boys, you know, like when you win things, no one wants to leave you, know, so it's going to be some interesting conversations, but I love them. You know, what a great bunch of boys.
Look, mate, I'll let you go and enjoy it. Enjoy these fans. I'm sure the whole northern suburbs are proud of you. I'm a northern suburbs boy myself, so I know how much it means to the people of the north. So enjoy it, mate. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Unreal, Shane. Great job getting those initial reactions down there. It's always good to suck up that atmosphere. That's fantastic.
That atmosphere there is quite genuine, isn't it, when you think of it? Because, like you said, he hasn't come to win State League 2. He got the team when they were bottom of State League 2. They're now on their way to the National Premier League. And, well, Simon, there's not much more to say, really, because we've seen 3 fantastic grand finals this weekend. We've seen some great goals. But, yeah, we're about to wrap things up here with some highlights. We can see the first goal go in. Again, as Shane just said to Benny Moore down there, they were a little bit hard done by that goal, weren't they? They were clearly the better team to start the game, Playford, and then they got that goal, Birkalla. But the thing with that was they couldn't go on with it, could they? They struggled to go on with it after that.
Yeah, they did, and you saw Birkalla just playing with a little bit more confidence, but credit to them, after half-time they came out and changed things up. But we saw that confidence when they went in for half-time as well.
We see that goal go in, which was the equalising goal by the substitute, Kurt, sorry. He had a massive impact on the second half. Not only did he score that, he created another chance. That one there beat Harpus down low. When we thought Harpus wasn't going to be beaten, we were talking about the jubilation of Birkalla, and then bang.
Well, I think the wet deck probably wouldn't have helped his case there. But as you said, Kurt, so much pressure to come on.
And here we see, the third goal of the night, and the winning goal by the player of the match in the end, number 7, Andrew Butler. And as we said, it was a little bit of a mistake by the defence. Everyone had stepped up to that ball, and the one Birkalla player stayed back, kept Butler on side, who was almost in an offside position. But at the end of the day, that goal there has led them to a championship, Simon.
I think in that case they were rewarded for their persistence there, putting themselves in dangerous positions, putting a lot of pressure on Birkalla's defenders, and it looked like they deserved to be the team that would put themselves in front. I would have happily gone to 120 minutes, but well deserved to play for it, and the celebrations here are just really, really great to witness. Genuinely so happy for them.
Well, we can see now on the screen as we're about to wrap things up here at Service FM. That's the end of the season. That's us all done and dusted for 2024. We'll all be back in 2025 as we see the Playford guys still out on the pitch, just soaking up the emotion. Shane, thanks to you for braving the cold down there and getting us some great insight after the game. Yeah, and the Gatorade, mate. Simon, thanks for joining me not only tonight but throughout the season. Well, it looks like that's it from us. I really think it's time to go home. Well, Playford City, champions of State League 1. They'll play in the NPL next year. 2-1 winners on the night. Thank you, and see you in 2025.